Hail and well met. Welcome to the Stargazers of Aroria one-shot. Here on the Dungeon Scrawlers, we like to do periodic showcases of cool visions in the TTRPG space, and today we present to you Aroria, a supplement to Dungeons & Dragons 5e that harnesses the power and mystery of the stars and the cosmos to fuel your character's power and guide their destiny. My own character is Gerta Grimm, gnome trickster, blessed of illusion powers, and a Scorpio. Join me in welcoming Jacob Huebsch, who will... I tried, Jacob. I did.
You nailed it. You did it great. You did great.
Who will tell you a little bit more about the experience, but first, take it away, Rhiannon.
Okay. I'm going to talk about our sponsor. Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons & Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure, including Frida, Havilar, and Mayhem, and probably all kinds of other ones. Those are Aaron's characters. Aaron's not here tonight, but from the Brimstone Angels novels. The game is available for PC and Mac on Steam and web, all kinds of gaming consoles, all kinds of different places. I have an old list, but basically it's everywhere. And if you'd like to have a code for a chest, those are on our overlay, or you can type it into chat. And so if you don't know what this game is about, but it sounds interesting, you can check out idlechampions.com. And I'm Rhiannon Held. I write urban fantasy is Rhiannon Held, and space opera is RZ Held. And tonight I am playing Datura Jinsum, and she is a Fey folk sorcerer, Libra, I believe. Stephen.
Oh, thank you. I'm Stephen Merlino. I am playing a blessed Selepticept character. Who is a human. What is, you might ask, a Celesticept? Well, it is one who is born with special destiny, secret destiny. One who was born, in his case, on Midsummer Night's Eve, the very pinnacle between day and the other day, the very peak of magic. He is a Cancer, just barely over into the Cancer side of Midsummer Night's Eve, and has many blessed qualities, and is known as Friar Tim of the Church of Stellar Harmony. Now, we have some giveaways to go, and these are really cool. Both of them are from Ink and Lyre, which is the company that made the Stargazer's Guide to Aroria. One of them is the Stargazer's Guide to Aroria itself, the entire campaign book with subclasses and races and all of the wonderful astrological stuff in there. That's a PDF. It's a honking PDF. It's basically it's like a source book for this. Then the other thing is Ink and Lyre has a fabulous t-shirt shop, about 20 different t-shirts. I bought one today. I'll wear it at a future event once it arrives. So we have a giveaway for a t-shirt there. So what you do is in chat, you type in !enter, and that is for the t-shirt. And you type in !ticket, and that is for the Stargazer's Guide to Aroria PDF. Simultaneously, we have these same two giveaways going on in our Discord. So if you go to the giveaways and polls section there, you will have another shot at the Stargazer's Guide to Aroria and at a t-shirt of your choice. So pretty cool. Enter them all and try your luck. Maybe the stars will be with you.
They're very, very cool shirts.
Yeah,
clever and pretty.
Shirts.
I think you'll be pleased. Go check it out.
I'm super jealous of your shirts, Jake. Like, who designed those shirts?
Oh man, I'm not fully certain. I think it might have been one of the owners of Ink and Lyre, Lauren. But I want to make sure I double check on that. Though she is a fantastic artist, she does a lot of our design. So I have no doubt that they're likely designed by her. But
Awesome,
they're
awesome.
very clever. And
somebody,
pretty.
a viewer named Hughes of Hodges says, "Me!" exclamation mark.
There it is. There's Lauren. There we go.
Well, great shirts, Lauren. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job, Lauren.
I got the one with the die and all of the vectors coming off of it. I'm sure, Lauren, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And then the 2 pendulant dies that hang below it. That's cool. So I got that one.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Ying Wang. I will be playing Vaskir, a Oath of Sovereignty paladin. I'm going to be talking a little bit about how we have new emojis. Like, we added a couple emojis from Concentration Check, and we also have added our first ever set of animated emojis. So if you subscribe, feel free to click the emojis and check out like the new ones that we got. I think my personal favorite is either knife hands or the one of the owlbear like furiously typing away with one finger, because oftentimes that's how I write, which is like my head hunched down, just like furiously typing away. So Jake, who are you?
Hello. Yeah, hey everybody. It's so nice to be here. I'm Jake Huebsch. I'm going to be your GM for this evening, hopefully having a pretty good time running around the Stargazer's Guide of Aroria and our grand city within that book called Lecambria, which art you see here on the screen, kind of in the center of the stream, by Rydell Aponeus. And it's beautiful art. And I'm really excited to be here and be able to show this adventure. This is one that I got a chance to write for Ink and Lyre. And kind of run around the world of Aroria just a little bit, just a snapshot of it. In fact, this adventure, just to kind of give you a brief sense of it, is going to be just enclosed within the giant spire you see here in the art called Nouveau Maximum, the fantastic, the famous College of Wizardry within this world. I'm doing pretty good. I'm really excited to be here and excited to play with you all. And in fact, you know, small world situations, I've known Stephen before. We used to walk dogs together. So it was really fun to actually interact with each other in a different space. So,
whoa, it was ordained by the stars that you
yes,
guys.
it was.
It was. You know, it's weird. You've changed. You look different now. Did you have facial hair or something back then?
I have. It could have been 1,000 things that maybe changed. Yeah.
All right.
But I will say, just because on brand and on theme, I'm a Scorpio by birth. I was born on the Halloween, so hardcore Scorpio, rocking it. Really brooding, really moody all the time. Yeah.
Excellent.
Get us into just a little bit of describing this adventure and our world. One of the things, and it was already mentioned by Stephen as well, which was that Stargazer's Guide has been this really exciting project for us at Ink and Lyre. It was an opportunity for us to take, like many of us who run games, right, a homebrewed world, and really bring it to life, to expand upon it, and to find all of the amazing mysteries and sort of curiosities that we all wondered about, and create them, right? And so this adventure that we're about to go into, and I'll segue us in here whenever we're ready, will take place in our grand city, and it will take place kind of looking at a little bit of what the zodiac signs and their impact on our world is. Is there anything else for anyone else here? Cool.
I'm ready.
All right. Well, Friar Tim, Gerta, and did I hear the names from Rhiannon and Yang Yang as well, just to make sure?
Datura.
Vaskir and Datura, wonderful. Welcome to Lecambria, the capital city of Aroria. And by capital city, there are many capitals, but this is the capital city. Everyone knows of this place. It's enormous, it's large. It is connected to the mainland of Aroria by a massive bridge, and you can find any adventure, anything, and any opportunity within this city. Our story takes place in the spiring towers of Nouveau Maximum, one of the great wonders of Aroria. As you all and anyone who visits walks the grandiose halls, you take in the ornate, book-filled libraries that make up the southern wing. Then the prestigious Mage College of Lecambria is in the eastern wing, where many across the country come to learn magics, to study under headmaster Tredillion Skyweaver and many other famed mages across the land. And the northern wing is where they do that practice, right? Whereas you have studying and scholaring in the eastern wing, you have the northern wing is where you can hear always throughout the day and night the soft sounds of magic being used, practiced, among other things. But this story in particular takes place in the, did I name them already? Western Wing, there it is. So we take place in the West Wing. And this is where we're at the museum. You've answered the call for adventurers announced by one of the museum's curators, Leah Traber. She's one of the members of Nouveau Maximum, a magician herself, a mage. And this museum, imagine kind of a natural history museum of the various wonders of Aroria, has been having some problems. Recently, a new exhibit called The Stars of Aroria will open, but all of the staff, and you've heard these rumors as you've lived and traveled through Lecambria, every one of the staff members has been quitting quickly and unexpectedly. And now there's only a few left. Each of you, as you stand within the museum itself, can hear the announcement through various magic mouths as it tolls throughout the museum. The museum will be closing in 5 minutes. Please make your way to the front door, and please do not take anything with you. We will be checking. Thank you very much. And you, as adventurers, have been told to wait, that Leah Traber was going to meet you. Because tomorrow, in less than 24 hours, will be the grand opening of this exhibit, The Stars of Aroria. But there's problems afoot, and only you can solve them. As the last guests leave for the evening, you can hear Curator Traber approaching, the sounds of her footsteps walking through the now emptying corridors of the museum. And I want to just take a minute, very briefly, for each of you to just describe what you look like and sort of what are you doing as you stand around this little waiting area, looking at various things throughout the museum, exhibits and other kind of, images or statues. If I could have Vaskier start, please.
All right. So Vaskier is a quite tall yet spindly paladin of the Oath of Sovereignty. He's tall with ashen skin and dark hair that comes down over one shoulder in swooping waves. He has very sharp eyes, but he has like a very bored expression this evening. While he's attending the museum and admiring all of the various exhibits, what he's really doing is he's keeping an eye out for the wicked. But upon seeing nobody wicked so far, and the evening growing longer, he's starting to get a little more bored. So I think right now he's looking for various like weapons or armors that he could admire from paladins of the past, perhaps other people who have been punishers of the wicked. He wants to be inspired by their stories.
Very briefly, as you're just looking and you're standing waiting, you're taking in actually this gleaming shield that has the emblem of Bouslier, one of the divine mages and one of the divine heroes that is sort of kind of make up one of the pantheons that go throughout Aroria. And you can see the shield is burnished, it's polished, it's almost reflective, and it's hanging up there. And it's, as you can see it, it's almost like, you know how heat gives that radiant wave of energy off of it, kind of with the light. You can see that coming off of the shield as some sort of magical aura is emanating from this.
Ooh. So what is his legend in terms of how many wicked people he's smited in his life?
I mean, a lot. Right. I would say that when thinking about Bouslier, you're really thinking a lot about just like, what does it mean for might, strength, and justice? All of those things combined together, though the might and strength might be a little bit more important than the justice side of things. However, you know that Bouslier, among many, is extremely famous, powerful, and hasn't really shown up recently. Though there are many churches, there are many groups that worship and follow Bouslier, and you know that within Lecambria itself, there are some places like fighting pits where you also know that this figure is well revered.
All right. Yeah, so I think Vaskier is admiring the shield, and after a while, he looks down at his own pitiful plain shield, and he says, "Don't worry, one day, Bad Basher, we will have destroyed many a wicked foe as well."
All right. If I may have Datura go next.
I read it up on the Faith Oak, but if I say something that doesn't sound right for that, let me know.
Go for it.
But so what I imagined is that she's sort of middling height and somewhat sort of pear-shaped, so that she has sort of like wider hips and sort of a little unbalanced as far as what sort of might be considered like super curvy. But she is very sort of pragmatic in her dress. She's wearing trousers and everything is a neutral. She's never met a neutral that she didn't like, so brown boots, black jacket, gray trousers, other shades of gray. It all goes with itself, you see. And she's got pointed ears and the sort of brown hair where you look at it and you're like, I'm going to try to be poetic. That hair is brown. And her eyes are much the same. They are eyes and they are brown, and that's about all you can get out of it. And right now it's sort of up in a bit of a twist, but there's sort of tendrils coming down, but none in her face. They're all sort of on the back of her neck. So clearly it's out of her way. She's not worrying about it. It's not going to fall down more. And as she looks around, you really get the sense that she should have a notebook that she's jotting stuff down in, or maybe not. Maybe what she's going to do is before she goes to sleep, she will write all of this down. But meanwhile, it's all in here. She's making notes, not in a judgmental way. It's all very interesting, and she wouldn't want to miss a detail when she could write it down and then sort of pore over it later. So she's looking at everything and sort of making mental notes.
Cool. All right. I'm going to have one more person go, and then I'll have an interaction between the two of you. So if I could have Friar Tim go.
Friar Tim, you hear him before you see him. You hear his voice. He has a loud speaking voice, and he seems to be in conversation with someone else. And the part you hear is, Summer solstice, celeste sep. Yes, let's keep it quiet, mum. Keep it mum. Yes, Magister Skyweaver asked me to come by, and I thought I'd just give it a little look. He said he had some problems. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Good, run along. Good. And there's a young person with him who accepts a coin from him, and then scampers off, and he makes an entrance. He's come a little late, and he's very brightly dressed, but not in a flamboyant way, but gold white robe, open front, goes all the way down to the ground, has a gold inner lining and a white exterior, and it's over a shiny scale mail. And he walks with a kind of cane that is kind of loud and heavy, because it's really not a cane, it's a mace, but it has this great big silvery golden astrolabe head, which is multiple astrolabes sort of welded together to form the head of a mace. And he walks in and he stops and he surveys the group. He's a human. He has long Jesus-y hair and kind of Jesus-y honey blonde beard, very well manicured, and a kind of sleepy look to his eyes as he surveys everyone from down the length of his regal nose.
Perfect. As you're looking, you can see, you don't fully notice Vaskir yet, but you see Datura standing there. And Datura, you're for a moment, like you can hear Friar Tim coming, right? And you can hear like, right out, sir, and the child runs off, right? And but then you get caught for just a second, Datura. And if you do me a favor and just roll for me a D20 with an intelligence check. As you're spotting something strange, there looks to be a little arcane rune scratched on one of the stone tilings at the base of what looks to be like some sort of strange looking taxidermied creature. And you just see this strange this arcane rune.
I said I was going to use roll 20 for the sheet, but it's so much easier just to like take out my die.
So much easier. First roll tonight. Here we go.
Let's go.
So that is a 15.
Excellent. Okay. You notice this rune. You don't know what its significance is yet fully. However, you are logging it away. As you said, you are putting it and securing it into memory. And as you look away from this taxidermied creature, which, mind you, kind of looks like a triceratops, but made entirely out of birch trees, as you're staring at it, you recognize this creature as an Arboreus. It's one of the creatures of Aroria, and it's just this massive tree-like, almost golem, but more animalistic than actual like construct. And then you turn and you see Friar Tim, and Friar Tim, you come shuffling in. Both of you have just a second to interact as you hear Curator Traber continuing to get closer and closer. If you have one or two things you might want to say to one another, I invite them to go for that now.
We don't notice Eric's character, is that correct?
You haven't noticed him yet.
Okay. And these two are both Fae? Is that right?
Datura is. Askir is a Celicept.
Oh, there's another Celicept in the room?
The second you kind of look at Datura, just beyond Datura, you notice, and you can see Vaskir is there as well. And suddenly, bam, something pings. And Datura, you're sort of in the middle of all of a sudden you're like, do these two like know each other? Like, what's going on? There's and you, Vaskir, and you, Friar Tim, you get this feeling like something has just happened as you see each other.
Friar Tim will give him the nod.
Vaskir will give him the Celicept nod back, recognizing a fellow is kind.
Well, Datura is going to sort of sneak up a little bit and see that on top of your arcane mace or whatever, the astrolabe. She's not going to touch. She just kind of wants to see, is it moving? Is there any sort of like mechanical aspects to it?
Well, it does. Are you interested? You may touch. You may play with this.
Well, thank you. The wonders of the world and little mechanical devices, I love them. So thank you. She's going to try to see if she can make it do something.
Yes, it does little bits and swirls and sliding bits and rotating bits. And of course, many of the parts are welded together. You see, it has a function also that has nothing to do with stars unless it's the stars one sees after being smited with it. What?
As Friar Tim is chuckling, Goethe, where are you? You're nearby.
I'm taking note of this very interesting conversation.
Perfect. Okay. Goethe, could you describe yourself for just a second?
Yes. This little gnome leans out from around a stand that maybe a statue or some other display is on. Goethe has long and dirty blonde hair, which is tied back in a ponytail, kind of like sparkling but slightly mischievous, mysterious eyes that constantly are picking up every detail. You get the sense that there's that Goethe is very engaged and like mischievous, but also there's a certain bit of mystery and aloofness to this gnome.
As you are aloofly sort of just standing off to the side, all three of you, Tim, Vaskir, and Datura, you notice Goethe. But in the moment as Goethe goes, right, you also hear the footsteps of Curator Traber drawing closer, and you hear the sounds of what sounds to be like almost like chalk on a chalkboard, but there's a crackling to it, like an electrical crackling. And you can then hear, with that briefest of interactions with Goethe, you then see as Curator Traber strides around the corner. She's dressed in Nouveau Maximum clothing. It's deep blues, silvers accented, very much what Mage College sort of style clothing. It's almost military in styling is the way that she has hers set up. You can see that she has this dark black hair. However, she's beginning to gray, and she's doing sort of one of those growing transitions coming from the roots. You can see that she has floating over both of her shoulders. You see two what looks to be like almost mage hands, but with white gloves, and one is massaging her temples, the other one is massaging her neck. And behind her, floating just slowly behind her, is a chalkboard, and you can see it's magical with arcane chalk, and that's the sound of the crackling energy carving itself almost like a hologram floating its way along behind her. And she turns as you go, and she goes, I'm not that scary. Don't worry about it. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Hello. Thank you for answering the call. My name is Curator Traber. Spare me the names.
Bows deeply.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you for the bow, but save me the names. We don't have time for that. At any rate, I've called you all here, as you are well aware, because we have a problem with our exhibit. I and my assistant Marcus have been working around the clock for the last 2 weeks preparing for the grand opening of the Stars of Aroria. Come see the fantastic celestial beings of our land. Sorry, it's a force of habit. At any rate, our staff members have been quitting. My staff have been quitting. And tomorrow is the grand opening. And I want things to go really well.
I suggest hors d'oeuvres.
Great. I'm getting cheese.
Perfect.
A lot of it. So
Perfect.
hopefully that's going to be good.
I'm helping.
So I need your help. What I need you to do is I'll lead you over to the exhibit and I need you to go inside. And you can see the chalk is writing these bullet points out. When you go in there, I need you to investigate what possibly could be going wrong and why potentially my staff might have been leaving. Investigate it, and if you have a chance, solve it. Solve the problem.
Excuse me.
Yes.
By solve the problem, if I happen to come upon any wicked people in there, can I solve the problem? And then he sort of taps on his shield and points at his sword.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
1,000%. Smite anything you find in there. I should note, most of the things that you'll find within this exhibit, this is a very immersive exhibit. This is supposed to be something that allows people to really have a fun experience. So 2 things I should note. 1, you may wind up fighting things, but almost everything in there, should be everything in there, is an automaton. Feel free to bash it, to break it, to destroy it. We'll just repair it. It's not a problem. 2, not that I believe this is going to happen, but should you be defeated by our automata, which are programmed to fight back and to challenge you, we have a fail-safe and you will not die on our hands. So that's a worst case scenario because it's a real pain to go find you in the fail-safe room. So please don't fail because we don't have all the time in the world.
Oh, I never fail.
That's
I have a
what
question.
I'd like to hear. Yes.
What kind of cheese?
Yeah, it's Gouda, it's Brie, it's Gruyere. I was trying to think of whether or not Swiss would be good at all as too. I'm doing some sharp cheddar though, not mild. I don't like mild. Why am I answering that? And you can see one of the gloves begins like massaging me even more heavily. And you notice that the chalk was writing all the cheese types down. And she goes, God, no, okay. All right, let's save those questions for later. At any rate, there are a lot of rooms in this exhibit, 12, technically 13. There's a central room and then there are 12 rooms around it. Okay. You might have to go and investigate some of these rooms and you should be prepared for that. Last thing I'll note before I answer any other questions, non-cheese related questions to you, is that my assistant Marcus went in there just a couple hours ago to try to find the problems. He was one of the lead developers of many of the rooms, but he hasn't returned. If you can find him and return him to me, I would be grateful.
Is Marcus weak?
No. And you see the chalkboard say like kind of give like the approximation symbol, you know, the tilde, like, So.
Gert is now dancing.
I know, Gert. I know. I just want to say that this is very important for my career. If this goes well, things will go well for me and you will be handsomely rewarded doubly so. Already, I'll give you a coin purse, and if you're willing, if you get this done quickly, and she pulls off a ring and she holds it up, I will give you a ring that stores spells. So please do this.
I like.
Yes, dancing one.
Is that Marcus with a C or Marcus with a K?
See. Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, one
Not
more.
about cheese.
Yeah, you got one more.
It's not cheese related and it's not Marcus related. What kind
Yeah.
of drinks are you going to serve?
Unbelievable. Anyway, let's get out of here. We're going to the exhibit. So she ignores you. She gathers you all up and she leads you to the doors.
Is that fair? I have more questions.
Following behind the curator, you are led to the large archway on which a gleaming placard reads, "Coming soon, the stars of Aroria." The archway shimmers with magical energy as you draw close, and the 12 runes of the zodiac signs flare to life. Beyond the archway is a long hallway, the walls adorned with blinking stars that appear to lead you through a series of constellations. And far in the distance, you can actually see the exhibit itself. And it's almost like illusorily far. It seems like an optical illusion. And as you can see, you can kind of see like a pedestal standing in that room. But you're not there yet. The curator points down the hallway and says, "Please enter. And I'll remain here just in case, not let any other staff go in. Again, find Marcus if you can't solve the problem. Of those two, do the second one first, and then find Marcus later. Really, we can get him whenever we need to. So if we have to, but really, if you can, it'd be awesome. And good luck. Thank you."
You are welcome. Marcus with a C. C for cheese.
And then as she turns, she gestures you to enter in, and as you begin to walk away from her, you can hear her going, "All right, let's brainstorm wines for a minute. That was a really good point." And you can hear her voice sort of trail off as you walk through the hallway. After only 15 feet or so, you can't hear her anymore. You can't see her anymore. And you find yourself surrounded as you walk through this hallway, almost like SeaWorld or one of the things where you kind of like see everything around you at all the times, but it's all stars. It's all constellations as you walk and you continue to walk. And each of you have this sense that, yeah, this is an optical illusion. And for you, Datura, your innate abilities with magic inform you, just in the back of your head, you clock. You just stepped through a pocket dimension.
Oh.
And you are no longer technically within Nouveau Maximum.
Very impressive.
As you continue walking, minutes pass, and then you see, as all was dark and all you saw were constellations and stars and shooting stars shooting around you, you see light. And you can see the chamber to the exhibit itself. Entering this chamber, you find yourselves in a dodecagon room. 12 doors, and I'm changing the map here for folks to see on Roll20. 12 doors surround you, each bearing a massive sigil of the zodiac signs. High above you, you can see the mosaic of the zodiac avatars, the flaming ram of Fluortide, the oracle, a massive, almost whale-like fish of Frostwain, the forge of the covenant, a towering anvil with a ram's head hammer smashed down on top of it, and the rest painted in brilliant colors on the ceiling. At the center of the mosaic is a prismatic, glittering chandelier. Multicolored lights illuminate the chamber, casting rainbow patterns across the polished floors. And as you take all of this in front of you, in the center of the room, is a strange arcane machine. And there are two women in their late teens, dressed in ethereal blues and whites. Their movements seem to mirror each other in a strange way as they tamper with the machine. Entering the room, they both turn and look at you with dangerous grins. Now, one of you has the ability that when you see a celestial, I believe, or an extraplanar entity, you are aware of it, correct? Or was it your zodiac sign, I believe?
As a paladin, I might be able to with my fine sense.
You immediately know that these are celestials. But as you all look at these, you all realize something alarming. The zodiac signs in Aroria actually walk across the plains at times. They walk across the world. The flaming ram of Fluortide has been seen when cities are razed and burned to the ground. And what you're looking at right now are the signs for what we would call Gemini, but they're called the Swindle Twins. As you look at them, they are the mischievous tricksters of this world, and they belong to Sunbask, the sign. And it is not good that they are here. As they both look at you, you can hear as they say, in unison, "You're here to ruin our fun? We want to play more. Catch us if you can." And as the twins say this, one of them puts their hand within the arcane pedestal, and it flares to life. And you watch as doors begin to open, their arcane runes moving, and you see as 3 doors flare to life within this room and open up. The Swindle Twins snap their fingers, and in a cacophony of laughter, they vanish into one of these rooms, though you do not know which. What are you going to do?
We have to go after it. There's
Well,
no
I
telling
think
what
we
sort of
just found the
mischief.
problem. Agreed.
But which of the 3?
So
Heck.
is there?
Gods, are they not?
They are, I believe.
They are, yes.
We're not going to be fighting them then. We're going to be persuading somehow or
Well-
outmaneuvering them.
Here's an idea. They said they wanted fun. Perhaps they are having fun with Marcus currently. If we were to have fun, then perhaps they will consider themselves satisfied before the exhibit opens.
Well, that's good.
So let me get this straight. We're all going to get together and we're all going to have fun together, and then we're all going to be satisfied together, and that's going to solve the problem?
We don't really know.
I like this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it. Let's do it.
The only fun that I have is when I'm smiting the wicked. As long as we can find some wicked, I will be satisfied.
Let's get this one some wicked. Shall we go to my favorite sign?
Of these 3 signs that are lit up,
Yeah.
do we recognize what they
You do,
symbolize?
yeah. You can actually see there's a little placard above each that will tell you the name of them. This is an exhibit. This is a museum after all. So what you know is that this sign right here, and I'm pinging it on our Roll20 here. This sign right here is Rhymewoon, aka for our audience, Aquarius. And you know that the entity or the sort of manifestation, whereas the Swindle Twins are the manifestation of Sunbask, of Gemini, you know that the manifestation that people have seen is sort of this thing called the Wandering Star. And it's almost like this living humanoid comet. You also know that thematically, generally, what Rhymewoon is known for being rebellious, inventive, and condescending. That's the purple sign. The blue sign that you see here belongs to Orus, aka Cancer. And you know that this is all about being kind of moody and protective and caring. As you are looking at this, Vaskir, you're kind of
that's
thinking
you,
about
buddy.
protection,
Thinking
right?
about what? Thinking about what?
You're thinking about protection.
Oh, protection.
And then the last sign, our orange sign down here, belongs to Solstice, also Virgo for the layman's terms. And this belongs more to kind of like the faithful, the critical, the calculating. And it's known for its manifestation is called the hive, like almost this like, imagine like a beehive, sort of everything working together at once in an unison.
They sound judgy. The twins probably don't like judgy. Let's do a different one first.
Might I suggest Orus? I feel particularly at home in the Orus, the light of Orus. Anyone object?
No
Good as any other?
objections.
Sounds good to me.
Excellent. Well, let's go take a look at this. Do we want to look at this? What's in the middle here?
A massive dodecagon pedestal that's covered in arcane runes that's now sparking kind of dramatically. You could investigate it if you would like.
You said it was a machine?
It is a machine. It seems to be the thing controlling most of these doors, kind of as the quick thing you're putting together. But if you want to investigate, you could learn a little bit more.
Yeah, yes. Anyone particularly good with machines? I can just give it a look.
That's a 4 investigation.
Okay, great. You begin sort of tampering with it. Your hands are getting zapped. If anyone would like to add any other different check, a Knowledge Arcana could also work here, or any other check. I'm pretty open to them. But you've kind of tried your investigation as you see Vaskir sort of just getting shocked over and over again by arcane energy.
I did an investigation with a -1 and I rolled a natural 20.
Ooh.
Did pretty well.
There it is. Okay. So Friar Tim, you come walking over, right? You can see Vaskir sort of working away at this thing and it not having too much success. And you step in and you begin to look and you can see that whatever the Swindle Twins have done, they've gone in and you saw it when they reached their hand in almost ethereally, that they've reached in and they've actually tampered with not just like the wiring and the structure of this machine, but the actual ley lines of arcane energy that function within it. This is sort of almost on that, as you're investigating and with your knowledges being part of the Stellar Harmony Church, that this is not something that your average person could probably fix. You might even think that maybe a lot of people at Nouveau Maximum can't fix this, and that only maybe the Swindle Twins could, or a more divine entity could.
He looks over to the Fey woman, is it?
Datura?
Rhiannon?
Yeah.
Datura?
Yeah, faithful.
And says, I think you might be right about having to somehow persuade the twins to fix their own mischief. I don't think any person of our sort could fix this. They seems to have skewed the ley lines, as it were. If you come close, I think you can see. If you look right in there.
Ooh. All right. Let's have a look.
As you're looking as well, you can concur with your knowledge of magical and your magic and your innate skills with magic. You actually think, and you realize, Datura, you've had some interesting situations with magic in your past. If you channeled some of what's going on in here, you could go crazy, like in a cool way. Like things could really pop off and explode if you had your hand on this when you were doing some magical effects.
That sounds like fun.
Interesting. Well, I do have these cantrips. I mean, I could just try one of them.
Getting a little anxious. Why are you staring at that energy like that?
Yes. Plus, the wicked might be getting away.
Right.
We should probably make haste and pursue them.
We should choose one of these rooms.
I suggest Oris.
Striding forward, you all gather in front of the towering door of Oris, the blue sign here, and you step through. And I will change the map here for a moment.
Ooh, this is marvelous.
You feel again and again, Datura, you are aware of the fact that you've now stepped into a new pocket dimension. That it seems that multiple were built around themselves to become rooms. And as you step through this door, you feel almost this pulling, this magical pulling feeling, and you suddenly find yourself landing within a new chamber. Entering this chamber, all four of you land on the ground, and you are standing amid a massive field of flowers. You are assaulted by the blazing light of a huge chandelier, crafted to appear like the radiant sun. And as you
But it's not a real sun, right?
It's not a real sun.
Excellent.
Yep. But as you stand, you all you're looking around, and you can see as every candle is blazing brightly. But as you, Goethe, step one step forward, you watch as one of the candles blinks out, and everything gets just a little bit darker.
Oh.
The chamber stretches before you, appearing, as I said, like a ton of wildflowers, and they lead towards this dark, shadowy forest. You see a solitary figure ahead of you, running, shouting, "Give it back! I need that!" Just as before they disappear into the forest, you can see the pale forms of the Swindle Twins laughing, sticking their tongues out and pulling their eye at that figure, waving a glimmering object in their hand, and then vanishing into the forest itself.
We picked the right door.
Softly, you hear the chamber doors that you stepped through close behind you. And on the far end, beyond the forest, you can make out 2 towering doors and an exit sign.
Oh,
There we go.
What would you like to do?
I take another experimental step.
It's just fractionally dimmer.
Oh. Question. Can you all see in the dark?
Yes, I can.
I have torches that help me when it's dark, but yes, I
Oh.
can.
Oh, good. Good. Seeing in the
Is
dark is
this-
important.
Is this Marcus? This person?
Looking, they are not wearing Nouveau Maximum clothes. You'd have to get closer to begin to interact with them, but you can see them, and they're sort of doubled over, going like, and they're just looking off in the forest. And they just kind of, when they said, "Hey, give that back," they pointed, and you can kind of see this insight check, almost of dejection, and they're just pointing now. They've been defeated, and they're just pointing at the forest.
Oh.
Well, seems the services of a priest might be in order. Come, couldn't be all that bad. It's just a material object. You still have your life, your health.
You are saying this and approaching, but I want to check in with everybody else. You are walking through wildflowers, drawing closer to this figure. Is anyone wanting to do anything else at this moment? Before I have Tim console this figure.
Condescend.
Does everybody cause a little light to go out, or just me?
You're noticing that everyone's doing it.
Oh.
It's a great question.
And Datura can jump fairly far. Does that does one jump still only do one candle, or does it do several at once?
As you test it, you are all putting together, especially from Datura's testing, that the candles are going out in a ratio appropriate to how close you're getting to the forest.
Oh.
Interesting.
It appears that they've been timed to all potentially go out by the time you hit the forest.
Well, that's convenient. For the forest.
No, it'll be more fun that way. I mean, the light it's rather harsh.
I didn't mean to suggest that I was complaining.
Okay. You approach, and Father Tim, you begin your consoling statements. And I just wanted to check Vaskir. Was there anything you wanted to do? We have jumping Datura, we have investigating Goethe, Vaskir, just in case.
Vaskir is definitely like looking behind the group, like he's really wary of being surprised. Like he really hates being surprised and ambushed. So he's just like looking vigilantly into the darkness, a torch ready.
Cool. Make a perception check. Okay.
17.
I'm gonna ask you: is Vaskir at all naturally savvy? Like, do they know a lot about nature?
No.
Cool, great, perfect. You're looking and you haven't noticed anything sneaking up on you, right? But as the light is dimming, one of the things with your 17 that you are picking up on is that there's almost like this encroachment of shadows. You get this sense that if you wait too long, as the light continues to get darker and darker, that like wall of shadow is more ominous and menacing as it's coming across the field towards you than anything else.
Okay, then I guess as Friar Tim is about to do his thing, Vaskir is going to sort of nudge him, and he's going to say, whatever your plan is, you should probably do it with haste. The darkness looks like it's encroaching. But I trust that you know what you're doing, because you look Jesus-y.
Is it coming from behind us to the map west?
Yeah. So it's coming from. I'm gonna ping it on the map. It's coming from where you entered the room, and it's coming across the flowers, and it seems to be ushering you towards the forest. Yep.
Don't worry, it's just a little bit of darkness.
As you get closer, Friar Tim and party, right, as you all approach, you can see this figure who's now kind of huddled over here, pointing at the forest, just sad, and you can be like, no, I needed it. And you can see this figure, he looks to be a young elf with this soft mouse-like features. You can see long black hair tied back into a ponytail and a pair of silver glasses on his face. And as you approach, you can see he sort of like hasn't fully noticed you yet. And then all of a sudden you notice as he kind of almost like turns his head, he kind of hears, and you realize all that Tim was sort of muttering a little bit, practicing those lines, right? And you can see as the figure goes, oh, still pointing at the forest, turns and looks back at you. Oh, hello. I need your help.
That depends. Are you Marcus with a C or a K?
Or
No.
are you wicked at all?
No.
Well then, happy to help you.
My name is Naz. Pleasure to meet you.
What is it that they took? The Swindle Twins.
My necklace, it was an amulet of protection. It keeps me safe, and they took it.
Is that Naz with a P or a G?
GN.
Gotcha.
Is this an automaton? Can I tell if it's an automaton?
Yes. You've been forewarned. Yes. Naz is an automata. It is very hard to tell, had you not been told, whether or not Raz is an actual being or not.
And do we know that automatons just do what they've been told? They've been programmed. They don't really have a sentience or a personality.
Traber never really said any specifics to that. But what you've heard about Nouveau Maximum's exhibits is that like their automata are incredible. So it's sort of like they might almost have a partial sentience, or they can at least feign sentience really well to people. If you did ask Naz, what are you? Naz might explode and their mind might malfunction and just break down, but that's just a robot thing. So maybe don't do that to them.
I think Friar Tim is just going to say, Naz, is this part of your job here to usher people into the forest?
No, my job is to warn people away from the forest. There's a terrifying monster that lives there, and only my amulet keeps me safe from it. And so they have it, and I need you to help me get it.
Yes.
Well,
Fair
it
enough.
does. Seems like a good plan. Everyone?
Okay.
Dator does want to come like really close to Naz and like kind of look. Can she see any gears? Like any gears working?
Oh man. No. It's all like almost very much like almost flesh-like. Whatever they've done, they've hidden it well so far. Naz says, all right, I can help lead you. If any of you are also savvy at sort of tracking things, we can kind of track them down together. But I'm scared, and so I need you with me when I go into the forest.
You think we could
question.
follow the sound
Certainly.
of mockery?
Probably.
Excellent.
So, what happens to those that the darkness overcomes?
They disappear.
Well, let us make haste then.
Well,
I'll
things
be-
often disappear in darkness. I'm not really too worried about it. Oh, let's go.
All right. You head off, and as you walk with Naz, you begin to get closer and closer to the forest. You notice that the chandelier is getting darker and darker. Entering the forest, you see the giant chandelier above now slowly dims and goes dark. The candles flickering out and leaving great trails of smoke that seem to hang in the air like clouds before slowly drifting down and filling the forest floor itself with a eerie mist. And as night descends around all of you, you find it difficult to follow the Swindle Twins trail. Ahead of you, comforted by your presence, you notice Naz is sort of almost on almost all fours, kind of like, I'm looking, and trying to track the Swindle Twins. They went this way, he points at a narrow path. And at this moment, I would like to invite folks to explain how they support Naz in tracking down the Swindle Twins and giving me a roll subsequent with it.
Is anyone
Vaskir?
skilled at tracking? Vaskir?
Vaskir will use his divine sense. He can at least sense celestials within 60 feet. That's not behind total cover.
Okay. You automatically take up some of the leadership for the first trek of this process. And with your divine sense, you can sense where the Swindle Twins are at that moment, and you begin to follow and lead the party along. There's no roll needed. You automatically succeed with your divine sense as you continue to trek. And you almost get this feeling with your divine sense of not only just maliciousness, but like some deeper, darker intention at work with the Swindle Twins. And you're starting to think a little bit about they have to have a purpose. They're not fully chaotic creatures. Who's up after that?
Have a little bit of skill in survival.
Okay.
And will help track that way. Oh,
Okay. Hey, how
Nice.
do you, with your 19, Goethe, help lead? Naz is crawling around, looking around for things, but how do you support?
So do the Swins leave tracks or broken branches or twigs or?
Yes, but would be very difficult to notice, but it's something that with your role, certainly you could if you would like.
Okay, yeah, that's what I do.
Okay. You manage to pick up on just the faintest. These are almost ethereal creatures, so the idea of them breaking something is so slight, but you look and you can see even just the crumpling or the shifting of a twig where it should not have been, and you help lead along. The smoke coming from the chandelier continues to increase, to pick up, but you're getting this feeling, this sense as adventurers that you're getting closer and closer to your target, and you can hear almost just faintly the ha 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 laughter of the Swindle Twins. And Tim or Datura, how do you support?
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. I was going to suggest that Datura, since she's pretty good with sort of jumping and she's got a decent acrobatics, that she goes up into the lower branches of trees to get that different perspective and look ahead. And she's got dark vision, so it would acrobatics be the right one to?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it. Love it.
Not too
All right. As you are jumping around, you begin to clamber up into the trees using your dark vision. You cut through some of that smoke, that fog, and you can see the Swindle Twins just up in the distance, not very far away, maybe only about 25, 30 feet away for just a fleeting moment. And they are standing in a opening within the trees, right? A glade. And you can see as they seem to be jumping up and down for just a second, up into the air, and you almost see this almost like floatiness to them, right? And then as you're looking at them, you know precisely where they are. So as you clamber back down the tree, if you would like, you can direct your party. You can help lead them to that direction.
Yeah, she's gonna point out this way.
Okay.
Tim is going to use his excellent. He's always been very observant. He's going to see if he simply notices anything, especially if there's a monster in here.
Yeah.
If there's any evidence of something other than the twins that the twins might be leading us toward.
What check do you want to use for that? Ooh, perception. I love it.
Perception, yeah.
Okay.
How'd I do?
You got a 14.
14, okay.
As you're looking, Tim, you're on edge. Like everyone, you know that there's a monster here. And as you're looking, what you can hear is the laughter. You can hear as Datura goes, hey, over that way, go that way, right? And you follow your lead of your crew. You can see the shadows encroaching behind. And you can see as Naz on all fours is sort of like, I think they're that way. Yeah, if we keep going that way. But you've not seen a single sign of a monster, Friar Tim. You've not heard anything. And you've now been in here for almost 30 minutes as we've kind of gone through these skills and led our way through the forest. No sign of a monster. And as you look up, Tim, and with your look, as you all continue going a little bit further, you see the clearing that Datura noticed. You hear the call of an owl blaring overhead. Woo! And Naz stops tracking and stares up at the sky. Tim, because you were looking for a monster, is there anything specific you want to do? I'm giving you and just you a chance here. You're the one particularly having looked for a monster in this situation.
Well, mostly he wants to warn people if he thinks there's some danger. And otherwise, he'll load his crossbow and see if he can hit something if he has to. Oh, wait. Cast light on the bolt of his crossbow.
Love it. All right. You take a moment, you cast light on your bolt, right? And as you are casting light, you are sort of getting everybody more aware, ready for something to happen. And you all look and you can see Naz is staring straight up. Following his gaze, you can see that the chandelier, once representing the blazing sun, now has the pale illumination of the moon surrounding it. Every candle has now relit a pale blue flame, signifying the moonlight pouring through the trees.
That's a pretty great effect.
Auspicious?
Suddenly, you begin to hear snarling.
Suspect, that's what I'd say.
And the gleeful laughter of the Swindle Twins nearby. Uh-oh, look out for your new best friend. Instead of bestie, he's looking rather beastie. Maybe he needs this. And you can see for just a second, one of them, their hand appears from one of the trees and points, and you see the gleaming amulet floating softly and then hanging 20 feet off the ground on a branch. And you can, as I change the screen here and roll 20, it is marked by a white circle. You'll see the object there. It hangs 20 feet off the ground, and turning, you see as Naz is doubled over, shaking violently. There was no monster that was clearly visible. You then watch as fur bursts from Naz's neck and back, and large rat ears have grown from his head. And as quick as this transformation has started, his shaking stops, and he turns and stares at you.
An RUS!
All right.
You
And
said
you
you were
see-
not wicked.
You see, Friar Tim, you particularly with your knowledge and religion, see a were-rat standing there.
Oh.
Roll initiative, everybody.
You gotta click on your person.
Oh.
Click on your figure.
Vaskir.
Oh,
No. Vaskir got a what? Vaskir?
I got a 0 total
Perfect.
because I rolled a 1. I have a -1 to my initiative.
Okay.
Oh my god.
All right.
He's just so stunned by the fact that he just feels so betrayed.
Oh my
Naz
god.
said he was not wicked.
We have terrible initiative.
All right. So, Goethe, you're going to go first. You are the quickest. You have been sort of prepared for some potential scary thing. And you see his Naz snarl staring at you. You also notice the amulet now hanging about 20 feet up in the air on this largest branch. And Goethe, you can see his Naz snarls, eyes locking right at you, beady little rat-like eyes. And you get this sense that Naz is aware of some deep, dark secret. The fact that you've talked about cheese a lot already throughout this entire adventure, and Naz knows you, particularly you. Goethe, what are you going to do?
Well, I have little crumbs of cheese in my pocket, so I'm a little worried. Okay, first of all, what I'm going to do is, okay, so this is the amulet, yes?
Yes, right there, yep.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over behind this tree.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast my minor illusion cantrip to create a double of myself just running away. It's not going to make any sound. It just looks like me, and it's running away in the this side of the tree, over this way.
Awesome, yeah.
So like I ran like this, and then my
Yeah.
double goes, right? But
Yeah.
I'm still there behind the tree. where I'm going to try and hide with my cunning action. Do I have cunning action yet? I don't have cunning action yet.
I don't think you have cunning. Yeah, I'm gonna say though, it's pretty foggy. It's pretty misty, right? You're gonna be pretty stealthy in this situation, right? And I actually want you to roll a deception check for me, please.
Great.
Oh, P.S. everybody, in case we didn't say it, we're all level 1.
Yeah. You are all level 1.
Do I have any advantage or disadvantage or anything?
I would say that in this case, you are just going to roll a straight roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
A
9. Wonderful. That's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to check with that. So
sure.
As you hide behind the tree, your illusory double comes out. And if everyone else in the party could roll for me an insight check for a moment. You're rolling against that deception check, that DC.
All of you are goes, oh no, they're babies.
As Naz looks, all of you are unfazed. As you've seen as savvy adventurers, sort of tactics like this before, and you notice that Goethe was sort of almost a little aloof and dodgy at the beginning anyway. And so you see as Goethe disappears, and then suddenly another Goethe goes, running out. But Naz is in full angry carnivore form, right? And so just like jumps and goes and attacks using his first round of actions to try to snarl into your double. It's a very clever sort of trick against a bestial creature. And as Naz, who is also automata, rushes forward, you see as he digs into with his claws and a bite, making 2 attacks, burrowing into your illusory form and getting angry about it. But Naz's turn is over. After
my illusory
this,
form is going, but not making any sound because I can't do that with minor illusions.
Oh my god,
awesome.
It's killing Goethe.
Oh my god. All right, awesome. After that, it is going to next be I'm gonna have Rihanna go, then Friar Tim, then Vaskir.
Okay. Well, I got these 2 spells, so probably going to need some of them later, but right now I'm going to try Ray of Sickness at Naz.
Ray of Sickness.
The aforementioned babies thing.
Perfect.
And again, I apologize for my unfamiliarity with using Carol.
So you, what does it look like? Describe your Ray of Sickness while I roll some other things. So, go for it.
So this says greenish, but I'm gonna say like she has accessorized, so it's a sort of, it's a gray, it's a neutral. It goes with her whole look. Sort of gray energy spits out towards the where we're at.
Awesome. Cool. I'm gonna roll here in just a second. It turns out that my mouse just died. So
Oh no.
Oh no, crisis situation. Naz is God. Okay,
But it says I need to make a ranged spell attack. I was trying to make the D20 do that.
Oh yeah, go for it. So make a ranged spell attack.
Anybody want to tell me how?
Yeah, roll a D20 and add, I believe you have a
well,
plus...
okay, I'll do it manually then. I was trying to make you do it on the character sheet. No, that's fine. So that is a 16. 16?
That does hit. So this green energy cast around your fingers. Is there anything when Datura casts spells that like it tells her this is her spell? Like, is it a smell? Is it a feeling? Is it something? What do you got?
Interesting. Well, I think it would be color. I think that she does sort of different stuff with the different colors, so that it's not just one color. So it's kind of like green and gray, maybe, sort of in a particular pattern, because she likes playing with colors.
Rad. Love it. So as you cast your spell, you watch as it shoots forward, smashing into, you watch as it smashes into Naz, and Naz has to make a Constitution saving throw against your spell save DC, which I believe on the second part of your character sheet is 13, I believe? Yes. Okay. And actually, can I enlist the help of other players here for a moment? Can somebody else roll for me the save? And just roll a d20, please.
I got it.
Okay. You...
Theoretically?
yeah, you rolled it. Yeah.
Oh, man. Both of those are probably a success. So.
Woo!
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Rolled an 18 and a
You
15.
deal 2d8 damage. You get to deal 2d8 damage, Datura, but I want to invite you just for a second to look at what your divine zodiac power is, specifically your rulership. It should be, I believe, on your front page there.
Yeah, so it's the rare sickness is poison, and there's something about necrotic damage. Is
Yes. Okay. Yep. Just checking.
that okay?
Making sure. You have other spells that do necrotic damage, but yeah. All right. So do 2d8 points of damage against Naz here.
8.
8 points of damage. All right. As your spell smashes into Naz's chest, you can see as it spreads up across the body, necrotic energy sort of pulling away. And you had asked earlier whether or not you could see the automaton's body, right? You watch his flesh fades away, and now you see almost bone and gear spinning together. As you're looking at this, again, Nouveau Maximum's really good at magic, and they're really good at automatons, and you think that this automata is not the traditional version. They made them to be able to be affected by various things. So in the case of your poisons, it actually does hurt this creature. That Nouveau Maximum's not trying to be a jerk in this situation, whereas they might with other automatas in other spaces. They tried to make this one as lifelike as possible, spared no expense. So after you went, Datura, do you want to move or anything? You cast your spell.
Yeah, so I can move 40. So I'm gonna 30. She's gonna come over here.
Okay. The amulet hangs 20 feet above you in the tree. You can see that if you wanted to try, you could try to climb up the tree or do any other action to try to get to the amulet. But as your turn ends, Friar Tim, it's your turn. Oh, you are muted, Friar Tim.
It's one every
Thank
stream.
you.
Keeping the tradition alive.
Friar Tim is keeping his composure, and he's
Oh
got
my
his-
goodness, Daniel Hodges 7
Oh,
with
thank
the gift subs. Thank you so much.
Nice.
10 tier 1
Wow.
gift subs. We
Very
really
nice.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Cancer is also the 7th month. So,
Woo!
all right. So he's going to fire it off
Yeah.
and send the light, the radiant bolt into. I know it doesn't do any extra damage or anything, but he's going to fire his bolt. And since he is within 30 feet of another Celesticept, he has +1.
To both attack and damage.
Oh, I didn't know that part. That's sweet. So I'm looking. It takes me a while to get to where my actual score is. Dang it.
My
Every time I
presence
do that-
empowers you. Your presence empowers me. We got
You know,
like a
it
bro
looks
thing
like
going on.
I got a 10.
Looks like you shoot, you take aim, your bolt shoots through the smoke and the darkness, hits the tree next to Naz, and you can see as it's radiating, but not successfully piercing into Naz's flesh.
Right. I step so that the paladin is between me and the rat, and I drop the crossbow, or I just let it hang on its little leash at my side, and shake off the sleeves and get ready to do something else next round.
Perfect. Vaskir, what are you going to do?
So he's going to draw his sword and his shield, or no, his warhammer and his shield, and then he's going to step up to Naz, but in the process of doing so, he's going to yell out for Gerta, and he's going to say, boy, this monkey sure looks hungry. Did you happen to bring some of that, or this rat looks hungry. Did you happen to bring some of that cheese you were talking so much about? And then he's going to attack.
Right? Go for it. Vaskir's
Seven.
not great. You roll a 2, get a 7 total, and as you swing, you do get a +1 again to this because you were nearby a Celesticept.
That's with
Just-
the +1.
Oh, perfect. Wonderful. And as you swing, you watch as Naz almost lithely sort of dodges out of the way, snarling at you, and you take your swing. That's your movement. Anything else that you were going to do, Veskier?
No, but I do want to thank Original Angst did 5 tier 1 gift subs, and also Daza287 for the sub plus the 100 bits. We really appreciate it.
Amazing.
But
Thank
Goethe,
you, everybody.
I asked you if you had cheese, bro.
All right, Goethe, it's your turn. We're back at the top of the round, the second round.
I do have cheese. I'm going to cheese this were-rat. I pop around the tree and I shoot him with an arrow.
Okay.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, McK Bluff, thank you so much for the 245 bits. Wow, people are going nuts.
Woo! Also, I rolled a 7. Yeah.
All right.
All right. You watch as you pop around the corner. You take a shot. You also hit into the tree. It is just not going well. We keep missing our shots.
I keep moving and I go behind the other tree.
All right. After you go around the other tree, Naz, no longer distracted by an illusory version of Goethe, is going to instead turn his look and gaze upon you, Vaskier, standing it before him, and he's going to snarl and then raise up one claw, and he's making a multi-attack against you, attacking you with one claw and one bite. So first, we will have the claw go and swing at you for an 11. Does an 11 hit you?
Does not.
All right, as you snarl, slashing down, missing you, then tries to get a hold of you, going in for a bite with a 22 to hit, bares his teeth back. You see the mechanical teeth whirring and clicking inside of his mouth as he bites down on your shoulder, right on the neck for 3 damage. And at the end, as Naz bites into you, Naz is going to continue to kind of grab and grip and attack you, but otherwise that's it.
And firm.
Where's that cheese?
All right, after Naz is going to be again a Datura, then Friar Tim, and then Vaskier.
Oh, thank you so much. People continue to keep giving bits. Sorry to interrupt. Hello, Love Doves. 100 bits. Thank you so much. And Daza,
Wow.
another 100 bits. We
Fantastic.
really appreciate it. Wow.
Thank you.
Datura, what are you going to do?
Okay. Climbing.
Yes.
Gonna get that amulet.
Okay. Go ahead and give me like an athletics or acrobatics, whichever one you are better at.
Okay. Definitely acrobatics.
Okay.
Oh, boo.
Ugh.
But not if I roll like that.
Rolling in this situation does not mean you fail. It just means you take some time.
Okay.
At least when you're on the ground, right? It doesn't mean you fall. It doesn't mean you fail. It just is going to be you're going slower than you had hoped. But you begin to clamber up, and it will take the entirety of your turn to get your way up there. If you would like to not do that, you can take a different action, and you will have just used your move action. You kind of just tried to get up there and failed, and you still have your regular action if you wanted to. It's up to you.
No, she's focused. She's
Cool.
going up there.
You begin clambering up this tree. Wonderful. After Datura's turn, it's going to be Friar Tim's turn. You see as Naz is biting into Vaskier.
Release him, foul creature! And Sacred Flame draws down a column of golden fire, swirling around him with the scent of sun-toasted grass.
Ooh, sun-toasted grass. Nice. All right. As you watch this column of light come down, you can see as one of the candles in the chandelier above flares no longer blue moonlight, but instead the blazing sunlight, and then a beam shoots down, smashing into Naz, who fails to dodge out of the way. Deal your 1d8 damage.
Awesome. Okay, it didn't do that for me, I see. There's one.
Oh my god.
Boom!
8.
You see as more of the skin burns away from Naz. You can see as the glasses have fallen to the ground now. You see where they had been, that if you were looking pretty closely, but as Naz had turned into were-rat form, those silver glasses had burned almost like a line around Naz's eyes as well. But you then see as Naz snarls, staring right at you, Friar Tim. Anything else you want to do?
Well, I also get do I get +1 damage for an attack spell?
Oh, let's come back to that. But if you want to take the rest of your turn, I'll tell you in just a moment.
Okay. Well, since I have range with this sort of fire, I'm going to make sure that I keep a distance and just only prudent. Oh wait, no, 30 feet to get him, and just go to 30 feet. Okay. I'll go over here like this.
Okay.
So that way, I'm still within 30 feet to give my fellow Celesticep some power, but also be out of range of this fellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. There we go.
Perfect. All right. You move out of the way, beginning to shift around, and after Friar Tim, it's your turn. Baskir, it's your turn. You have Naz directly in front of you. What would you like to do?
The first thing I'd like to do is thank that's how I pronounce your name, for the extra 100 bits. I'm going to try to get all of you. Not sure if I did, but we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, he's going to like rub his neck, pull off, look at the wound, and then with a renewed rage, attack this weird rat automaton. He has to prove that he's much cooler than last round. 24 to hit.
Wielding your hammer, you smash it into the side. You hear the crunching of metallic bones and other gears inside Naz as your hammer collides. You've heard of were creatures. Many of you as adventurers all hear of were creatures, how terrifying they can truly be. Interestingly, it seems that your attack is successful in dealing damage. Nouveau Maximum did not design these to be true were creatures.
That's a relief.
So, deal your damage. Oh my god, you did it. Oh god, so much damage.
10 points
All
of
right.
righteous damage against the wicked.
As you deal that damage, I did check spells are not affected by Celesticep's ability with Destiny Touched. And your hammer cracks in Vaskir, and then Naz snarls at you. You can see Naz is sort of a little bit beat up at this moment in time. And Vaskir, in this moment, you also see is just for a second in the hybrid form, fear cross Naz's eyes as well. Goethe, it's your turn. Unless Vaskir, you wanted to do anything else. Cool.
You've been a bad boy.
Okay, let's see. Just figuring out how far I can get here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna loose another arrow at him.
Okay. On the run, you're sprinting along, shoot an arrow.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Natural
Okay.
1.
Natural 1. All right. Goethe. Could you roll your damage, please?
Great. Oh, shoot. I clicked on the wrong thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But he rolled a natural 20 this time around on this one.
So close. So close.
Yeah,
RNGesus
That's
is not with you,
unfortunate.
my friend.
No, definitely not.
Okay. You shoot, taking an aim with your bolt. Now, I'm going to ask you, Goethe, I'm going to give you this choice for just this second. I'm not going to tell you how this shakes out, but do you want this bolt to successfully deal net damage to Naz? You don't know how the fates are going to shake out on this whole situation, other than that you did shoot at Naz, and there's a possibility you could hurt Naz and cause other problems. Or you can miss. It's up to you in this moment. I'm just giving you the choice because you and I are playing for the first time together.
Yeah. Which means now I get to decide what kind of a DM I think you are. I think we'll go for it.
Okay.
Hell
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. You watch as the arrow shoots forward, and you can see as it collides, piercing into Naz's body. However, at the same time, half that damage, so half is going to be separated out to Naz, so 5 damage to Naz, and 4 damage to you, Vaskir, as the arrow goes through your hands and your arms in great hammer as you're smashing into Naz. And now your body and Naz's are pinned together as you hear the gears eating at the bolt, and you are basically restrained with Naz. You've successfully done more damage to Naz, and Naz actually looks quite hurt. However, you find yourself stuck there, and Goethe has just vanished again behind a tree. You take 4 damage, Vaskir.
Yep, definitely took it. Vaskir is not looking so great right now.
Okay. After your turn, it is going to Goethe's gonna go. After Goethe goes, it's Naz's turn. Naz stuck to you. You see for just a second, Naz looks up, spotting
Welcome, buddy.
Datura, and you realize you see Vaskir, your tactics, and you've been a fighter. You can see as Naz crouches down and tries to jump and is using his move action to try to use some of his rat-like ability to jump up on the tree and try to go after Datura from a distance, basically. However,
While he's attached to Vaskir.
he has a disadvantage.
Oh yeah, Vaskir's definitely gonna try to grab him and hold him as tight
Perfect.
as possible.
You will just automatically succeed. The DC was pretty high for Naz to succeed in this process. So you manage to just sort of keep Naz down. Naz cannot make a multi-attack against you because you're right now too closely pinned, but Naz can bite at you. So that's Naz's action is only going to be a bite. So with the bite, Naz with the 16. Does that hit you,
Nope.
Vaskir? Oh, you watch as Naz sort of tries to burrow in right on your chest, and you manage to just sort of dodge it all and push it away, and now it's going to be Datura's turn. Naz failing to get anywhere away from Vaskir.
Datura, hurry!
How bad does Vaskir look?
Real bad.
Sorry. Real bad. Okay.
Having climbed last turn, Datura, now she's in place to grab the amulet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So she wants to grab the amulet and then only climb down as far as she needs to be able to jump off safely.
Rad. Okay, great. Give me one more acrobatics check. This is part of the climbing process. Because you went so slow the first time, we have to just see how well this goes. This time, you are okay. You can keep you climb fine. You there's no true difficult. It's going to be a slow going. So you're going to, I'm just looking here at the DC. The DC was 14. So you're still going slowly. I'm so sorry. And as you are getting up there, you do get to the amulet. But you can't take any more time to get closer to the ground. And you were 20 feet up. You could do the jump. You could do what you needed to do. But you're more risky right now.
She's going to take that risk.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. So what does that mean? What are we going to do?
Well, I mean, so just jumping, right?
Yeah.
What's that roll?
That will be at an athletics check in this situation.
Oh, okay. Well, come on, dice.
Okay. Are you trying to do anything specific with this jump?
Land without hurting myself.
Perfect. Great. Cool.
Yes, excellent. Good choice.
You jump, right? And with a 9, what does Datura's jump look like?
So she's very sort of like, she's a satyr son, and so like it's all in her sort of legs and hips. And so she sort of like really like bounces from.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off, but you're a satyr son. You got really strong legs. You can jump double your height, length here.
Oh, okay.
Roll with advantage. Just roll with advantage. Get in this. You're jumping like there's nobody's business. Okay, it's still okay. You could, if you wanted to, jump anywhere to any one of the people on this map right now, if you wanted to.
Well, so did she landed okay?
She's gonna land. Yeah, fine.
Okay.
Your legs are powerful enough as a satyr son to basically just sort of do anything jumping related. Yeah.
Okay. Because then if she still could, she's gonna jump for Naz,
Ooh,
like
my
with
God.
the with the amulet. Like
Okay.
she's going for the. Well, he's restrained at this point, so like drop right over his head. This can only go well.
Datura, you took so long to climb up the tree, and to then come down the tree was pretty quick. But unfortunately, you're not going to have enough time to fully do what you want to do here. But you're starting the process. You're flagging it to everyone. Everyone knows that what you're doing is rushing Naz right now, who is currently restrained by Vaskir.
Yeah.
And as your turn comes to a close, it's Father Tim's turn. Friar Tim.
Restrained by Vaskir. Yeah.
Okay.
No, this is intentional.
So
Okay.
Friar Tim.
Friar Tim rushes up next to his newly met Celesticept brother doesn't
Best
want
friends.
to lose him already. So he's just going to say, find that strength again. And the brilliant golden sunlight is going to envelop Vaskir, and his wounds, some of them, will close. Let's just see. Does it roll do I need to roll an
Yeah, you have to roll the 1d8. Yeah.
Okay. And it'll be a +2. So
Okay.
6.
Oh,
6
great.
points returned to him. And I believe that was one. Yeah. So basically, I'm right there. That's all I can do. And I'm going to say, finish it.
As you shout, finish it, Datura, I've moved you closer as well because you actually were drawing closer in the process. You can hear Father Tim or Friar Tim saying, finish it. Datura, do you want to say anything? Because Vaskir's next, and you have your plan, and it sounds like Friar Tim has a different plan potentially. So what do you want to say anything, Datura?
She's gonna yell, hold him still. Like that'll work, but hey.
Okay. Vaskir, it's your turn.
Okay, so technically we are grappled. I guess he hears Datura's shout, and he's going to try to use his attack action to shove Naz to the ground while he's
Okay.
still grappled.
Yeah, make an attack. Oh, I like athletics. Ooh, okay, here we go. Let's see what Naz does. Naz loses.
Oh my
God, yes! Naz struggles against you, but this bolt is not helpful at all in this whole restrained process. And Naz is now knocked prone. You have Naz pinned to the ground and is knocked over.
I just want to let everyone know that I rolled a 6, and I was about to give up on everything. But then Naz rolled a 4. So never give up hope, friends.
Naz pulled it out for us, everybody.
Thank you, Naz.
So that's Vaskir. That's more or less your turn. You have Naz pinned. You hear Friar Tim saying, finish it. You can hear Datura in the background saying, hold him still. And you are doing that. It's Goethe's turn at this point. Goethe, it's all before you.
I'm going to try my best to hit him with an arrow just at least one time.
Okay.
Yes!
17 does hit. Do your damage.
All right, well, first, we're going to do the sound effect. Then I'm going to roll the damage.
Wait,
Okay,
I
here
love
we
it.
go. But wait. Sneak attack.
Oh!
12 points of damage total.
All right. You watch as Naz pinned down by you. You have the amulet ahead of, beside you, Datura. You see as Naz reaching up, and then suddenly, right through the top of the head, you see as some of the gears begin to twist and then burst. You see as the arrow goes down, piercing into Naz and slaying the were-rat automaton. And you've defeated your foe. You hear, no fun! And then like a darting away towards the exit door. And from a distance, you see the doors to the exiting the chamber open. And you are standing there in the clearing.
The divine children are terrifying.
Yes.
I thought that was sort of fun. So Datura is gonna put the amulet over the dead automaton.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't need it, so poor guy.
Oh, someone may
No.
need it. I'll go ahead and take that in case.
No,
Well, fine.
Need
you
it.
know, that could be valuable, you know.
You take the amulet and you pocket it as Datura puts it down on Naz. And you have it now, Friar Tim. It's in your pocket. You have a hunch that this is, I believe you might have the ability that when you touch something, you know that it's magical.
Yes.
And so as you know, you hear this bing sound as this is very much a magical object that you are now keeping.
If I put it on,
Wait.
Mhm.
Friar Tim, if you
Yes.
let me see it for a minute, as an heir to conjuration, I can inspect the object and determine any flaws or unique elements of its design.
Certainly.
We'll
Very
look at it
exciting.
as we walk toward the exit.
As you walk towards the exit, you walk towards the exit, and you are investigating this thing. As you're looking at it, I'm going to invite everybody here to collectively, you're all going to do a group check with an advantage check from Vaskir here. If everybody would like to give me a knowledge, religion, and or arcana check, even if untrained, we are doing a collective DC, trying to beat it to determine what this is with sort of a put our minds together and use some magic powers to figure out we know what this object does.
You know, I just rolled a 17. You know,
That's
just
pretty
casual
good.
17.
Okay, and nat 20 from
Ooh.
Datura there. My
Heck
God.
yeah.
Whoa.
Could have used that on some jumps and stuff, but sure, I know.
All right.
You're
You
way
all
better at
collect-
religion than jumping.
You all collectively are looking at this thing, putting your heads together for religion, inspecting it. You determine, one of the things you notice there, Vaskir, as you guys approach the door and are finishing, basically about to walk through the door if you would like, you determine that this is, yes, a uniquely designed sort of arcane runed little amulet, right? You can see all of the ones that are emblazoned on the like embedded on the front, but also a few of them uniquely hidden inside of it as well. In your religion check, what you can determine, Datura, is that this will give you advantage on any sort of lycanthropy effect that would be tried to applied to you. So if you get it bitten by a were creature, if you're wearing this, it will give you advantage on trying to save yourself against it.
Ooh, so
Yeah.
I theorized that if we'd actually successfully put this on Naz, perhaps Naz would have reverted and gone on and lived a happy, non-wicked automaton life. But I liked the way you did it, Gerta, because he was wicked, and there's no reason we should have let him live.
Was he really wicked or was he just made to be wicked?
Well, I mean, something almost killed me, and I thought that was Naz.
Datura, I also want to apologize
Well, thank you.
because Vaskir said I should use cheese, and I used a lot of cheese, but I used too much cheese, and I killed the enemy before you could, and your kill would have been glorious. So I'm going to help you do that properly next time.
Well, killing wasn't the idea, but fun is our idea, remember?
Sure. Wink.
I'm not sure. A, I'm not sure you know what cheese is, and then B, this really makes me question what you were asking the museum curator earlier when you were asking about cheese. If you think that was cheese.
What do you think cheese is?
Why, the nice, creamy byproduct of milk.
Oh, yes.
With this banter going back and forth and the philosophical questions about what cheese is and what cheese isn't, you step through the doors, exiting out of this chamber. You again feel this pulling feeling as you arrive back in the central room. And as you stand there, you can see, standing in the room with you, are the Swindle Twins.
Oh, we meet again.
You can see as both of them, ethereal in blue, they stand there and they turn and they go, "Oh, so fast, not fun." And you see as they both raise their hands, preparing to do the same thing they did at the very beginning, which is to vanish and disappear into one of the other doorways. And you all realize in this split second, this one moment, almost like a click, that you have a chance to do something to them. If you would like, you may attack. You may do any one action each.
Good Lord. Do we dare? I mean, what do we know about doing something to one of the signs?
What a great question. Just to support you all in your decision making.
Mhm.
People have fought the signs before. People have duked it out with them before. The signs vary in power, whether or not they're closer to their respective kind of like home turf or not, and their layers and their terrains. People can duke them out. The Swindle Twins are more mischievous than like straight up fighters. So they're one of the weaker signs. So it isn't out of the question to attack them. But would you deign to do it? That's your decision.
Are we rolling initiative to decide, or are we just doing it?
I have a question about one of my abilities.
Yeah, what's your ability?
So that is my Archbane ability.
Mm-hmm.
Does does the thing that I summon get an action as well, or does it act on my turn?
Yeah, you would summon it. It will get one turn and one action as well.
Okay.
Yep. I will say let's have everybody roll initiative really briefly, or just roll a d20, and we'll see who goes first, so we can align actions here.
2. Yeah.
And it looks like Datura, you're first. You have a 1 moment. This is your chance. What do you want to do?
Well, so they're talking about fun. And so I think she's going to call their bluff, and she's going to sort of like ping them with a spell, with a cantrip, and see what happens. Because she doesn't really think a cantrip's going to do that much damage. But so she's doing chill touch.
Chill touch?
Neither chill nor touch. And so that does max damage, correct? Because it's necrotic damage. So
yes, with that ability, if you would like it to happen, it will roll with max damage.
Yeah, so that would be 8 necrotic damage.
So you have to make a spell attack with chill touch. And so I think if you click on chill touch, the spell, it will roll. It should hopefully roll for you. Oh, I was wrong. Roll a d20.
Yeah, just do that. That is 11.
11. As you cast your spell and launch it at the Swindle Twins, you can see as they kind of shy away, and they both move almost in unison with one another as your spell shoots out at them. And I'm just going to double check to make sure and see if you hit them. As you shoot, it just goes right over and misses. Your ability does not trigger. You can use it at a different time, right? Yeah. Okay. That was your chance. Who else? You watched, all of you, each of you, as Datura went, shot the spell, and it's Goethe's turn.
Get him.
Goethe, can you describe what you just did?
My shadow rips free of me and grabs for one of them.
Okay. Pulling it away from you, your shadow slithers up and then will make its attack. Your shadow has its attack. You have that in your character sheet options that you have Goethe's shadow. So you may roll an attack with that.
Yep. I did open that up. Here we
Their
go.
AC is 14.
Oh.
Okay.
Unless they were like taken by surprise. But yeah, I don't think that hits.
Let me double check that. What a great question.
I mean, they probably didn't expect that to happen.
They didn't expect that to happen. I think for the fun of it, I'm going to rewind time for a second. I want to have Datura roll with advantage. I think that the Swindle Twins are not expecting the fact that these adventurers are doing as well as they're doing.
Yeah.
And I think Datura, roll with advantage. You are surprising them.
Oh, okay. That's a 10.
Okay. 10 plus your spell attack? Or is it 10 total?
No, it would, but I rolled a 5. So
All right.
Oh, good to
Yeah.
Dang it. I'm on
I
your
tried.
side. All right. The shadow then rips forward, attacks with advantage. Now you had rolled that for a 23. You managed to successfully hit them.
Mhm.
And Goethe, do your damage.
Okay, so I don't think Roll20 is going to want to roll this on its own, so I'm just going to have to do this.
I think I have their touch attack damage
Yeah,
set up
it's-
correctly.
It's listed, just for some reason Roll20 isn't rolling it.
Oh, okay.
So
Ooh.
that much psychic damage.
All right.
And that much strength drain.
Okay. You watch as the shadow buries its hand into the ethereal bodies of one of the Swindle Twins, and you can see as this almost psychic tremor rips through that Swindle Twin. You see in the other Swindle Twin the same effect, even though it was not attacked, occurs. And you can see as both of them shout, "Ah, no!" And you manage to successfully harm them. That was your action. And then we have, I'm going to have Vaskir, then Friar Tim go. Vaskir.
Well, Vaskir has made up his mind that the Swindle Twins are also wicked, and he looks down at his shield and he says, "Bad Basher, our legend begins today." And he lifts his shield and he tries to hit the closest Swindle Twin with it. So,
Okay.
improvised weapon. It is going to be. Oh my god. Oh wait. Oh, it's going to be a 21 to hit.
Oh, that hits.
Sweet. So that is only going to be a d4 of damage plus strength. So 4 damage to the gods.
Okay. Again, you watch as the damage ripples through this creature. You see that it doesn't seem to be doing as much as you kind of had hoped it would do, but you see that it does sort of ripple through the Swindle Twin and both of them. Friar Tim.
What about emotional damage? Do they feel insulted?
Oh,
that I
they're
hit on the shield?
you can see that they're pretty upset by all that's happening right here. This is not how the plan was supposed to go, and the fun is getting ruined a lot right now. So this is their party, and they are going to cry if they want to. So, Friar Tim.
Are they hurt? Do they look bloodied, or are they just mad?
No, they're just mad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Friar Tim, he would love to be able to say he got a piece of one of the gods, but he also wants to try. He kind of liked this what Datura keeps saying about fun, and so he's a preacher. He knows how to tell a good joke and make his congregation laugh, and he's going to tell a joke. He's going to make eye contact with them and say, "Did you hear about the fire at the circus?"
You watch as both of these divine beings look at you, and having just been attacked by 3 of your comrades, this is a large 180, but they're down for it, and they both go, "No."
It was intense.
Oh my god!
All right.
I just took 4 psychic damage for that.
No, that was incredible.
You roll with advantage. You are surprising them doubly so. This is a joke. You're making a persuasion check. Go for it.
Somebody in chat just makes like the bored face and goes, "Ooh," and somebody else goes, "Ooh, the cheese."
Oh my god. A 23 rolled on that check with that persuasion. And Friar Tim, you watch as they both just go, like, you see it almost coming through their ethereal body, just this laugh, right? And it starts to build up like, oh no. You can see one of the two, for first time in their whole scene with you, they're not in unison. One of them's going, "Ooh," and the other one's like, "Oh yeah." Like, one's loving it, one's hating it. And then you see as both begin to love it. They both begin to laugh. And you can see as they then point at you specifically, Friar Tim, and go, "You're funny, you're good, we like you. But more fun, and then more jokes." And they both finish snapping their fingers, and poof, they're into another room. You feel that you've had a lasting effect on them. Everyone here, from damage to like connecting to them. And you also realize that where there were 2 rooms open before, there's a 3rd room now open. The room to Taurus, or aka Wisterius, the room of laziness and calm, is now open. And that is the green room.
Oh, that's the rest room of rest. I think the lazy room. That's where you go to be lazy.
Currently, I do not need rest. If we
Right.
do not rest, neither does Vaskir.
Is my shadow still here, or did my
Yes.
shadow?
Your shadow
get
will
attached
stay.
to one of them? Okay.
Your shadow will stay for one more room.
I say we should do the purple one.
I like that.
And what I'm going to
Should
do
I
is have us
yet?
pick that room, and then we're going to go to break. And then we'll finish up the room.
Right on. All right. So, are we going to break now?
Pick your room. Let's have a
Oh.
conversation, determine which one. If you would like, you guys, so Wisterius, just to explain a little bit, yep, it's the kind of the room of laziness. What you know about it is it's lazy, stable, and determined.
Hmm.
And it's manifestation is called the Muse of Reverie. And this room is a lot about sort of like wanting to stay in one place, to relax, to be calm, to be secure. It's a very neutral place.
I did not know that's what Taurus was about. Well, I think we should. I like your idea of the purple, the water sign.
Okay. Rhyme Loom, the Aquarius sign.
Okay. Sounds good
It
to
does
me.
sound good. If we wait a couple of minutes, can give somebody an Arcane Aegis, just in case we get into combat again, and it would offer some additional offense. Is that all right?
Yes.
It just takes me like 10 minutes to cast, I guess. Anybody opposed?
No. No opposition.
Fine by me.
So Vaskir is going to rub the spot where he clipped like one of the Swindle Twins, and he's going to channel his holy power through that spot, and then it makes his hand glow like this ethereal blue, and then he takes that and then transfers it over to Friar Tim. So now you have 2 charges of something called Arcane Aegis.
What does it do?
Every time you're hit with a melee attack, a charge is expended and the attacker takes 2d4 force damage.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Well, that will show them.
While you wait and sit around for 10 minutes, Datura, give me a perception check.
Ooh, okay. I like this.
Cool.
Okay.
You are looking. You had logged something away at the beginning of this adventure.
Yes. On the
And as you were
Arboreus.
looking at the pedestal, you see the same arcane sigil scratched, not like embellished, scratched at the base of the pillar in the center of the room.
Ah,
Hmm.
interesting. Is it facing any of the rooms?
It is not, but you like looking at it. Unlike the one before, this one is glowing softly. The arcane energy in the pillar itself is sort of flaring and flickering and is alive, unlike the one you saw before. This one seems to be a little bit more like active.
Interesting. What happens if I touch it?
Okay, you touch it. This is all while Vaskir is casting Arcane Aegis, and you watch Goethe as Datura just touches the spot in the base of the pillar. And as you say, the finger touches the arcane rune, and suddenly this arcane energy blasts, flares to life in the room, and we'll go to break.
Nice. Nice.
The button pusher.
My God.
Oh, me all along.
It was you all along. The ruby was glowing the monkey's eyes, but you couldn't resist. All right.
All right.
So we'll say what, like 10 minutes? What are we feeling? Maybe like 8 minutes, and we'll come back at 8 p.m. Pacific.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Sounds good.
Sound good?
Yep.
All right.
All right.
See you
Good
all
time.
in a bit.
So go away.
Well, hello there. Of course you came to the grand dwarven city of Digbrand to see me. Ma Belle Pebblegrit, tale extraordinaire to kings, queens, heroes, and legends. Have you gazed upon my latest masterpieces? Yes, this one for you. Don't you see how it calls to you, speaks your name? You are gorgeous, darling. The colors, the line work, the gods weep in the presence of your beauty. No one has looked more stunning in a pebble grit design. Please, I cannot bear to gaze upon your perfection for too long. You can find this mesmerizing merch at inkandlyre.com. Go and unleash your fabulosity today and help support Ink and Lyre. Do stop by my shop again. You simply must tell me about all that adventuring thing. Well, ta-ta, darling.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Before we get started, I just wanted to remind you of the giveaways. We have 2 here on Twitch and 2 on our Discord channel. Here on Twitch, you have an opportunity to win a copy of the Stargazer's Guide to Aroria, the PDF, big honkin' campaign setting. And for that, you type in !ticket in chat. And for you to get a chance at winning a choice of your own choice of a t-shirt from the Ink and Lyre shop, 20 different t-shirts to choose from, type in !enter. And then on the Discord channel, if you go into the giveaways and polls thread, you'll see there's a chance at each of those things on that as well. All right, Jake, you're up.
So standing there, all in a group, you hear as Goethe goes, and suddenly a finger pushes an arcane sigil. Not one that was actually intentionally placed, it seems, or emblazoned upon this arcane pedestal. An arcane pedestal, mind you, that we know of two things happening. One, it's been tampered with by divine beings, and two, that if specifically Datura touches it and uses any form of magic, some crazy things can happen, as Datura has sort of determined internally for herself. And so as you touch this rune, you all are reminded just for a second, in that blink as the arcane energy washes out from it, you were reminded that some of your goals that Curator Traber had told you was to investigate what the problem is, and if possible, bring back Marcus, her assistant. No worries if you can't, but cool if you could. As the arcane energy washes across each of you as you're finishing casting Arcane Aegis, as you, Friar Tim, are sort of receiving this blessing from Vaskir, and as you, Goethe, have your finger up, you are blasted backwards. And for a second, you all look up and you think you see one of the Swindle Twins standing there. Datura, as your hand seems almost glued to this arcane rune, you look up and see a figure dressed in Nouveau Maximum clothing. He looks to be a young man. His hair is slicked back in kind of the greaser style. And you can see that he's walking around, but he's completely translucent, almost hologram-like. And he goes, no, you have to put the room over there. What do you do? Oh, yeah, you have to put that door there. That's a good room. That one's set. Okay, yeah, set the runes correctly. Excellent, perfect. All right, yep. And for Wisterius, yes, we want that room to open up a little later on so that people can take a break. Perfect. Wait. Don't do that to that room. No, we need that room specifically because the fire inside of it, and you can see that he is pointing at the room for the Scorpio, which I'm going to ping here. You can see no, not Duskborn, sorry. He's pointing at one of the other rooms, and you can see he's just starting to describe what's going on in the room. And you can see as this is moving around. Eventually, though, you see as he finishes describing, and I'm going to actually give you a couple details that you otherwise would not receive as you had found this secret. As he's talking through these rooms and talking about what he has hopes for them as the lead architect of every single one, you can hear that he speaks about Rymoon, aka Aquarius, and speaks about how he goes, yes, we need to get the prototype set up in there so that they can fight it and make sure that the control panel is well designed. Okay, we want it to be a good and interesting challenge. You see as he then points and gestures towards, you see the one that belongs to the Hive, also known as Virgo. And you could say, yes, get all of the automatons in there and get all the wounded in there. We want this hospital to work really effectively, okay? We want this to be a good time. We want it to be believable, just like that werewolf. Right? That were-rat. Yes, I know, Phil. You don't have to correct me every time I say the wrong lycanthrope, okay? I get it. We don't have much time. And then you see in this hologram a hand grab hold of this figure who you've determined is Marcus, and you can see as a hand grabs hold of, and then a second hand, and almost like shadows themselves, you see the Swindle Twins behind him, moving him around. And you watch as he goes over and he steps down and he looks right at you, Datura, crouching down by the pillar. And you can see as he goes, okay, yes, everybody keep working. Very good, very good. And you can see his hand scratching in the sign. And then he whispers, only to you, though it's so quiet in the room, you all can hear. Right. So this is just for me. Don't go into Wisterius if you can help it. that's a bad room to hang out in, right? You might fall asleep, okay? And don't go into any of the rooms that I just described that have combat related to them, because you're going to get distracted and you're going to be busy. You need to be focused. You need to be here. You need to be ready, okay? I love you, and you got this. And then you watch as Marcus stands up, says, all right, everybody, let's keep working. Let's keep going. Very good. And then you see as the Swindle Twins seem to help guide him, almost like divinely shifting him around. He walks out of the scene and disappears, fizzling away. You, Datura, can make an Arcana check for me.
Okay. Just pull this up. No. 18.
You watched Marcus moving around. Your magic is less of the scholarly kind and more of the innate powers. But as you're looking at this, you saw how the Swindle Twins were also partially bound into this machine as they had appeared with it. You see that they were also channeling some of how its power was working. You saw them mess with it. And you realize that potentially with the help of your friends and potentially with some risk, you might be able to force the Swindle Twins to do something using the power of this machine.
Oh, that's
you could maybe force them to return. You could do whatever you wanted to try to do, given some risks. But that thought lands on your head. It just sneaks in there, and you file it away. And then you all have a moment, a pause, as the hologram itself vanishes. Your hand leaves the rune for a moment, and you all have a second to just breathe.
Well, that was Marcus.
Did we all see that hologram?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
What? It sounds like we shouldn't go into the I'm going to call it purple, the purple room, because, well, we shouldn't go into the lazy room, definitely.
Okay.
So that's out from what I was hearing.
Right, we would fall asleep in there.
Yeah, but and this is Rhiannon rather than Datura. Datura would remember the names, but Rhiannon took in that the purple room, there was some combat, and then the orange room was something about a field hospital.
Correct.
So Marcus...
Oh, go for it.
Well, I was just saying, Marcus said to avoid combat.
He said it to someone, potentially just himself. Right. He did leave that message for himself. He did reference that they had put a prototype in there as well.
Well, shall we investigate the field hospital?
I happen to be both a paladin and a doctor, so this is agreeable to me. I have some knowledge of medicine.
All right. All right.
The
Bring
question,
Grim too.
the question is, do we want to try one more room to chase the twins, or do we want to focus our attention here on this machine?
I wouldn't know where to begin with that.
Oh my god, I think you actually just broke Veskir's brain, because one hand chase the wicked, but on the other hand protect the weak.
Maybe the wicked went into the place where the weak are.
I mean, we still have time, so we could try to find them in one more room, get even more information about them, because new things are coming to light, and then that would aid us in trying to get them to stay in one place. So
Datura seems smart. Doesn't Datura seem smart? The shadow nods. All in favor of Datura as the leader, raise your hand. Shadow goes.
Datura, as you are getting de facto leadered for a moment, you do. I will remind that the machine I had referenced at the beginning controls the doors. So that is one more piece of information, just as you're kind of trying to think about, like, how do you control situations, right? potentially that may aid you. I just wanted to make sure that that wasn't a piece of information you had. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, so what Datora would suggest is that we try the orange room, gather information there about the twins, and then return here and put that information to use.
Right. Cool.
Seems wise to me.
Okay.
Let's do it.
You all gather up, grabbing Grim, and with Datura in the lead, newfound information, and thinking of whatever plan it will be for these Swindle Twins, you step through the door to Solstice. As you walk through, you feel the pull, and you find yourselves assaulted by shouting voices, wails of pain, and the clatter of equipment as you take in the sight of a bustling field hospital, fresh from the end of a bloody war scene. You see people gathered around, and you all stand there. And how this map is broken out, and for the audience who might see pieces of it, is there are various rooms, and these are what is being represented here. You can see that the sick and wounded are everywhere, filling the room that you're in, which seems to be an entryway, filling the hallways, filled up in beds on the second and first floors. You can see as clerics, priests, and monks move chaotically through the crowd, trying in vain to respond to the calls for help to those who need immediate attention. Amid the crowd, you spot them, the Swindle Twins, smirking at you for just a second before vanishing amid the crowd itself. You could see as they vanish that one of them seems to almost like trip one of the clerics, and suddenly a bunch of things clatter, and you can hear their laughter. And then suddenly you see another priest go and look at you, specifically you, Friar Tim, and go, "Don't just stand there. Help out where you can. All of you, come on." And you can see that he's sort of going up and down, looking at each of you as either adventurers, paladins, healers, whatever it may be. He watches now, uniforms are shoved into your hands and you are pointed towards the crowd. Look, you all look healthy enough, so go bandage people, carry something, or direct anyone else. It takes us all a chance to work together here to succeed. Not that McDavis is doing anything at all. Help us finish the work so that you can go home. The faster you do it, the quicker you get to leave. The medic moves away, and you watch as people, now seeing the uniforms in your hands, begin to approach you. You look around, and just to paint, there are a couple of different rooms in here, but what you can see is that there's need everywhere. You may come up with a thing you want to do to try to support this hospital, and we will be working together over a period of time, our skill checks providing different time periods, right? Each one taking some time, but collectively we have to succeed. You can see, though, that some immediate things is that there looks to be people going, "I don't know where the syringes are. Where's the scalpel? Where is everything?" And then every so often you can see what looks to be a Swindle Twin running off with something and vanishing around another corner and causing chaos. You can also see other issues, people hurt who need healing. You can see as it looks as though members of the crowd are gathering together and kind of blocking everything. There are things to do and ways to help. What would you like to do? Everybody can declare their action first, and then what we'll do is have people roll, or we can go one at a time. And I invite whoever's feeling the most called to do something to just speak up.
Okay, activate Divine Sense. Hunt for the Swindle Twins. Time to bash them another time.
Yeah, cool. All right. You activate Divine Sense, and what I'm going to have you do, and this is in the first couple of minutes. Again, each one of our checks is going to take time. We assume that we're all doing work during this time, but we're going to just be looking at glimpses of all of our collective work. So as you activate Divine Sense, Vaskir, you begin to trek off, trying to chase and hunt them down, and you may make, for me, a perception or investigation check with advantage as you do this because of your Divine Sense.
Definitely perception. 17. Moving through the hospital, you keep hearing rumors that the much-needed supplies has gone missing, and that this pair of twin doctors were last seen carrying it. Eventually, you round the corner, and you are hot on their trail. You can tell.
and just a second, you turn and you can see what looks to be a bunch of residents, just young priests and medics, all just kind of hanging out and being like, man, they're just taking a drink of coffee or smoking a cigarette, and they're just like, oh man, it's so hard to be a doctor, right? And they turn and look at you and go, right, doc? Yeah, doc. And you see one of the Swindle Twins behind them like turn and go like, oh, and you're surprised that you see them for a second. They take the equipment that they're carrying and they go, oh, and they throw it towards you. And you, what do you do with it? They've tossed equipment at you.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna try to catch it and then give it to whoever is like closest to me, and then just pursue my my objective.
You watch as this stuff flies towards you. You can easily catch it. You grab it. You hand it to some of the residents, right? And they go, oh, yes, doctor. We'll go back to work, doctor. And they all of them just take a shot of espresso and then continue to go do their work. You cannot catch the Swindle Twins in this moment, but what you've helped done is catch supplies that they've been hiding, and you've collectively helped get the work across and to succeed. So that is one success to supporting this mission and this cause, as you are more or less for the next while hunting Swindle Twins down with your divine sense. Okay.
Cool.
I'm going to try and find one of the doctors who looks particularly distracted and see if I can figure out why, like what they're worried about, and if I can fix it. So
Perfect. Okay.
It's probably going to be like a insight or perception sort of thing that I'm doing.
Yeah. Give me an insight check.
Great. I am super good at insight. I just got to let you all know that, which is, I mean, not really true, but
Ooh!
hey, I did pretty well.
Okay. Insight check.
22.
You are walking through with your 22. You are walking through the hospital, kind of trying to find where people are distracted. And you keep hearing rumors of McDavis, Dr. McDavis, MD. Oh, what a dastardly person. Keeps distracting everybody, but you haven't yet encountered Dr. McDavis, though you're getting closer, you think. You're drawing closer, but you keep finding people like, at one point in time, you think you hear the most smooth-voiced figure speaking around the corner, and then you're like, oh, this is my chance. And then you round the corner and bump into what looks to be like a young intern being like, oh my God, so dreamy. Woo! It just like stops you and starts gossiping with you for a moment, and you lose the trail again. But you are drawn to a second space, which is you find a relay station full of quills that look to be magically imbued so that they can write to other spaces throughout the hospital, like a relay station or like a comm station. And you can see one clerk and 30 of these pieces of parchment and quills. And the clerk is just like, I can't do this anymore. My hand is cramping, help. And you can see that he's desperately trying to do this. And as you walk by, you see as he locks eyes with you, this pleading look in his eyes. And he is, without saying it, begging you for assistance.
All right. I can help you.
You may make any skill check you would like to try to convince those distracted staff members via this communication system to go back to work. What skill would you like to use to do that?
I'm best at deception. Okay, I am going to convince them that the assessor is going to be by, and if they don't get back to work and complete all their jobs, they're going to lose their hospital accreditation.
Ooh, God. Okay.
That's good.
Deception check. And the DC was 13.
Jeez.
It doesn't mean you technically like you do the task, right? But it takes you a little bit more time. And unfortunately, in this situation, this is a bustling hospital. There are complications to everything. Could you do me a favor? Actually, because you were looking for him, it doesn't matter. You won't roll on a random table of complications. The worst complication will come for you.
Perfect.
Amid the chaos as you're writing, trying to scratch out the right lesson, you see a doctor clearly not helping at all. Instead, he is flirting and talking with many of the staff, drawing closer to you as he does. You can see that he seems to be some sort of like prestidigitation or thaumaturgy going on, where steam just billows off of his body the entire time as he walks. He's a tall elf with a salt and pepper beard, piercing blue eyes, and a chiseled chin. He has his hair tousled and messy. You can see that he's holding a coffee cup. You know it's empty and it's all performative, and is wearing a pristine white doctor's coat with the name badge McDavis MD written on it, but the M and the D in his name are underlined as well in gold stitching. As you pass by performing your work, McDavis winks at you and drinks from the coffee cup. Is it full? Is it not? Who knows? But before distracting another healer working nearby. As you look, you feel compelled to talk to him as if there is a charm emanating from him. Wisdom saving throw for you, please, Goethe. This is a charm effect.
Dr. McDastard is what we're saying. Okay, so I am an enchantment heir, and thus gain a +1 bonus on saving throws against charm effects.
Okay.
And I have Gnome Cunning, which gives me advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and saving throws against magic.
Awesome.
Intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saves against magic. So this is a wisdom save, you said?
Yeah. Now I'm gonna this is a wisdom saving throw, and I'm gonna establish the stakes.
Okay.
If you fail this, everyone will have to make the save as well. If you can succeed this save by 5 or more, you can be the only one ever affected by Dr. McDavis in this hospital, and your friends won't. And what Dr. McDavis does is basically cause mass disadvantage because he's too steamy.
Oh.
Okay.
Hey.
Cool. What'd you get?
I got a 20 total.
Okay.
A total of 20.
Dirty 20.
Let Goethe's anatomy begin.
You manage, and the DC was 11 in this situation. It wasn't too hard, but you succeed in passing. You pass more than 5. Dr. McDavis cannot affect your friends at this point, and instead Goethe anatomy is beginning as Dr. McDavis goes, Goethe, can you come over to me, please? We have to do an operation.
Well, I'm not really on your service, Dr. McDastard, but I will.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
You and Dr. McDavis, go off, and you're going to begin working. We're going to cut back to you, but I want to have the remainder of our colleagues go as well. So right now we've had 1 success and 1 failure. Datura or Friar Tim, what are we doing?
I'll go last.
Okay. So what Datura, I think, is going to try to do is start looking for sigils. However, there are all these people in the way. So the logical thing is that if she wants to be able to get around to see sigils, she needs to clear the crowds.
Yeah.
So what she's going to do is she's going to scout around a little bit and sort of see where sort of people can sit down or rest or be put into beds, and like persuade them to go there to give her more room for her search.
As you're doing this, you can catch glimpses of the Swindle Twins doing the exact opposite of what you want. They're directing people to get in the way. And you can make your check. This is more of a charisma-based thing, unless you want to use survival or something like that to kind of do that sort of area and sense like space. So
I was thinking persuasion. So.
Okay, cool. Now, wonderful. Persuasion. Okay. 11. All right. In this case, the Swindle Twins roll against you, and you're competing against them because they're working against you. And the Swindle Twins succeed, and so you have a failure. Do me a favor. Roll for me a D4. Okay. As a complication occurs. 2. All right. I'm looking here at the complications. All right. You watch as the Swindle Twins succeed in gathering more people in your way as you're sort of like, excuse me, pardon me, can I have people's attention? People are gathering and crowding around you, causing problems. And the Swindle Twins are like, they're really helpful. Go talk to Datura. She's really helpful and she'll go direct you. And then you hear from a distance, oh my God, is that Dr. McDavis? And you see as that complication is beginning. However, you then watch as Goethe goes, no, we have to go, Dr. McDavis. And McDavis is like, yes, we have to go. You and me, we have such pressing business. And because of Goethe's success, you cannot be affected by this complication. And it's just a neutral effect. All right. After Datura, you are looking for sigils. I know that, but Friar Tim.
One for the team.
Friar Tim,
Twist my arm. Oh.
Friar Tim sees the chaos and is used to crowds and is used to molding crowds' behavior. And so he's going to use his persuasion skills to get as many people as possible working, back to work, basically. Cool. And if he has to, if McWizzle shows up and needs to be corralled again, he has a trick up his sleeve that he might use. But straight up, he has very high perception and persuasion skills, and he's going to use those to try to identify the problem, get people working.
Go for it.
Okay, so I'll just roll persuasion.
That's really good. 23.
23, okay.
You manage to gather people together, get people working, coordinate the staff itself, and you have a success as you continue spending some time working on these tasks. Again, some time passes as you all continue your hunt, but it's not over. The work continues. The work is difficult. You all need to help me and assist this hospital one more time, if you could. Please describe what you are attempting to do. During the first approximately in a couple, like 2 or 3 hours is what this task more or less involved that you were just doing. Trying to direct people, find your things, hunt the Swindle Twins, get distracted by McDavis and distract McDavis back, and rally the staff. What else do you want to do?
So Veskir, now having hunted the Swindle Twins as much as he could, he's going to remember back to his youthful backstory before Paladin school, when he went to medical school, and he's going to stare at the mantle of the doctor's uniform in his hands, and he's going to look forlorn out the window into the distance. Not again, but maybe one last time. And he's gonna put it on, and he's gonna walk over to the patient's room, like dressed up fully as a doctor, and he's going to attempt to heal some of them.
As you walk in, the staff go, "Doctor, we don't know what to do. You have to take this one over, Doctor."
I will. You, intern, get me a coffee. You, intern, give me a good lawyer. Now it's time for me to lay my hands on some of these patients. And so he's gonna go around, and I can cast lay on hands up to 5 times per long rest.
Wow.
And each time I do it, it will either cure a disease, neutralize a poison, or give him the 1 HP. Okay. So 5 different options, if I can.
Do you want to use all 5?
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay.
Let's touch all these patients. Okay.
You begin to lay your hands upon these patients, and you can see as all of the interns, they're like, "Oh my God, what a professional." One of them just faints just on the ground, and you can see as another one of the doctor goes, "My God, I can't believe you did it again. What's your name?"
They call me Dr. McPunish the Wicked.
My God. Dr. MPW, I love you. And that is a scene breaking out, but you have managed to succeed in assisting this hospital quite significantly. The rest of you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I think what Datura is going to do is she was going too big. Now she's going to focus in, and she's going to work on becoming that person who knows everybody's name and the name of all of their children and all of their pets. And as she walks through the hospital, she says, "Oh, you got to get better for little Johnny. And you think of stroking your cat Fluffy." And so she's going to try to sort of inspire people. And once she has sort of gained their attention by bringing up their significant detail, she's going to say, "And I'd like you to go over there and sort of start dispersing the crowds in that way.
Got it. And this feels to me like persuasion, more performance almost.
Okay, let's do performance. She's even better at that. Come on.
Oh my god. All right.
Nice.
With the 21,
Nice.
you are shaking hands, learning names. You are getting people's favorite pets' names down, right? And you are gathering the crowd. And with a 21, you also are looking, and you do spot. Now you can't do it. You're too busy.
Mhm.
But you see one of the scratch sigils.
Okay.
Okay, it's either Goethe or Friar Tim. And Datura, you could tell one of these two and help direct one of these two if you wanted one of them to go try to investigate it.
I have a different thing that doesn't affect one of those sigils, so I'll leave that to Friar Tim.
Okay.
My
Friar Tim.
thing,
Okay.
my thing is this. Dr. McDastard. My hands are covered in blood, obviously, because we've been operating on people.
We've been operating for the last 4 hours. We've not taken a break, and we've not stopped looking at each other in the process. So
It's been exhausting. But Doctor, I have to tell you,
what?
that new Dr. Smite's evil, or something like that. He
Dr.
cured-
Mick punishes wickedness?
That's
I've
right.
heard about Dr. MPW.
He cured 5 people in the time that we've been curing 1 person. Surely you can do better. I believe in you, Doctor.
You watch as tears form in Dr. McDavis's eyes. You see as he bites his fist and looks away and goes, ever since I was a small boy, I wanted to be a doctor. And he looks through the window longingly and he goes, and then he looks down at his coat and he goes, once before, I thought never again, but maybe I should.
Or at
And the
least-
exact same flashback that Vestir had, Dr. McDavis has the exact same one.
I myself always wanted to be a doctor, or at least play one in a TTRPG.
My God, I know what you're talking about. I used to role play these all the time. Let's work together. Give what type of check?
Well, this is be flattering him and like trying to
Deception.
it's basically a deception check to like stroke his ego and provoke him into
You have advantage.
working better. All right.
McDavis needs to be just lied to all the time.
Oh,
He
he
is
does.
super okay.
Oh,
All right, Mick.
Whoa! Dirty
Mick-
20.
You watch
Hey,
as
I got a
Mick
20.
You watch as McDavis looks at you. You both covered hands slap them together and look at each other and go, "We will do this, and we will defeat Dr. MPW." And then you two go to work and you heal 1 more person.
yes.
But very, very dramatically.
Yeah, very passionately.
It takes about 45 minutes. No, I lied. 90 minutes split across 2 different sessions. As you do. So, Friar Tim.
Okay, so does Tim hear Datura?
So yeah, as Datura sort of goes by, she's like, the sigil's over and the thing, but she'll describe. And then she's off to, the next person that she's trying to get to go to where they need to go.
All right.
You are alone, Friar Tim.
I will straighten my robe and stride purposefully toward that part of the room.
Okay.
Looking.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you approach, you draw pretty close to what seems to be like the edge of the storage cabinet here within the hospital. And you can see very inconspicuously, you can see just scratched into the ground a sigil. You got a little bit of a look at the other ones, just like very briefly, and this one's slightly different than the ones you saw before. But the way that it's scratched and the way that it's placed there is pretty clear what is going on. So
Can I read the sigil? Like, does it have a meaning?
make a knowledge arcana check or religion check, your choice.
They're both equally weak.
Okay.
Yeah.
curiously.
Mhm.
That is, I'm scrolling down to see it, an 11.
Cool. You are looking at this. It does take you time, and you're going to basically spend the remainder of your time doing this, right? But you can sort of sort out this sigil is another magic mouth or sort of projection information state, right? It's a hidden version of that. But unlike the one before, it doesn't seem to be horribly tampered with. You think you yourself could activate this.
I will do so.
As you tap this, you can see now not the full body of Marcus, but just a face.
Ooh.
And it says, and it just appears, pops out of the wall, right? And as you're looking at it, you can see Marcus gets really close to you, and you can see as is kind of wide-eyed, and he goes, all right, if you want to capture or seal them into this space, this is a pocket dimension. You need to channel the central pillar and make sure that it goes haywire in the process. You need to have a surge occur in it, and it can seal them or at least trap them. Okay? And I need you to do this. Remember, this is if all else fails. This is a good move.
Okay.
And he's staring at you.
Channel.
The central pillar.
The central pillar. And make it go haywire.
I'm not repeating it again. You got your message the first time. And you see as Marcus has been saying that, he actually repeated, channel the central pillar. And then he watches, he fades away. Okay.
Last ditch effort. Channel the central pillar. Got it. Stands up. Looks around. Looks for Datura. And strides after her.
Okay. All right. With your successes, Datura's success, all of the successes from Vastir, and the amazing 90-minute soap drama that comes out of Goethe and Dr. McDavis, you all succeed in finishing your shift at the hospital. The remainder 4 hours pass, and rather than be forced to stay on to night shift, you've had enough successes in rallying this space that you do not have to stay. You instead, you watch as the original healer who gave you the uniform steps back over and says, very good, thank you very much. Thank you so much. And takes all of your hospital outfits and says, the door's right there, and points to the direct front door of the hospital, which you see is the door leading away from this chamber. Please exit.
Right, let's go.
Wow, it's
Do
hard
it.
being an intern.
Yeah, I like to think that we all like do a slow walk, like out of the exit. It's so cool now.
The doors open up as you do your slow walk out, and you wash through. And as the final wash through Goethe, you see as you look back that McDavis goes, and then you vanish through the door. And you are back one more time into the chamber. You can see that the Swindle Twins are standing there yet again. This time, they are not surprised by you being here. You're back! We're supposed to have fun and you're ruining it! This is a game! Roll initiative.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. We got, and announce your initiative for the audience so that they are
10.
aware of how you're doing.
I also got a 10.
16.
8, 16 for Tim. And I'm going to roll for the Swindle Twins. Here we go. Swindle Twins have a +3 to this. They got a 6. They are going last. All right. Tim, what do you want to do?
You know, I'm just gonna, this is a long shot, but he's just gonna point at them and say, leave. And command them to leave.
Okay.
It's a long shot. They're probably immune to magic. I don't know, but what the heck? You know, we got spell slots. We gotta use it.
Yeah. Okay. You cast the spell command. I'm just checking in on here. The definition of command here. I want to make sure whether or not it's a charm effect.
Ooh, it is an enchantment, but I mean, it's in the enchantment school.
Okay. I'm gonna give them a roll just to check and see how they're doing on this. So here we go. Wisdom saving throw. All right. You watch as you cast the spell upon them, and you can see as they roll pretty poorly, but you watch as then they go, no, and they resist the action.
It was worth a try.
All right. Well, I'm going to die without any spell slots.
They point back at you and go, tell us a joke. And it's Vaskir's turn.
Vaskir is all business. He's going to just like look at them. He sees them there. He kind of like smiles a little bit to himself, like a little smirk, and then he raises his shield and just walks over to the nearest one.
Okay,
Make sure I can. Okay.
I got you.
So that's gonna be a 14 to hit.
14 successfully beats the armor class.
Oh wow! All right. So D4 damage plus 2. That's gonna be 6 shield damage once again. Improvised
Okay.
weapons.
You
Nice.
bash the shield into them. You can see as it batters into them, doesn't seem to do as much as you would hoped it would do, but it doesn't. It's not too bad either. And you can see as one of the Swindle Twins sort of bludgeons backwards partially, and then sneers at you. This isn't that fun.
Oh, I'm having a great time.
Oh. Okay. And now after Vaskir is going to be Goethe's turn. Then there are two.
All right. Is my shadow still here or no?
The shadow, I'll give you one action with the shadow because the
Okay.
last round you didn't really use it. So I want to make sure you have a
That's
chance.
pretty much true. My shadow was shadowing us at the hospital. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go for this twin right here. Although maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. We'll see. Oh!
Nice.
Oh my God!
Oh,
A
that's
natural
not-
20 on the shadow's grasp.
That's
Nice.
that's not gonna be good for the. Oh, geez. Okay.
That's 2d8 damage, right? 4d8 damage, and then 2d4 strength damage.
Oh man.
Wait.
If I know
I
shadows.
think it's just 4d6.
Oh, it's 6. Never mind.
All right, I didn't roll all that well on the actual damage. Let's see how the strength goes.
Oh my God, that was horrible. Audience, 2 2s, 2 1s. Not that great. Not in the lower.
However, I did get 7
Oh!
strength points drained.
Wow.
Oh my God. You watch as the Swindle Twins, you can see this, they get hit by this damage, right? You can see as they writhe, they turn away from it. You can see as the psychic damage pulls through them, and you watch as the strength damage isn't really strength damage. They're divine beings who are partially ethereal, but it pulls essence from them, is what you are seeing as it's happening. You see them weakening, and their grip is weakening on whatever they're doing here with this power. Even with this damage that you're doing, you're sort of disrupting them more than anything else. You watch as your shadow successfully, Grim, reaches in, dealing this damage to both of them that seem to share this effect. And then you see as both of them reaching out, shouting in a very classic, like almost Marvel move. They high-five each other in midair, and then one of the Swindle Twins, as a reaction, slaps Grim across the face and says, "You are no fun!" And Grim explodes.
Whoa.
Oh,
Oh.
oh, Grim. I will avenge you, Grim.
Okay. After Grim vanishes away, it is going to be Goethe's turn. You still
Okay.
have to go. Grim just
Okay.
went.
Grim, gone. Okay. Let's
Also
see.
known as GG. Sorry, everybody. I apologize.
It is. It's totally cool. I can't quite get to them in just the one action, so I am going to go right over here.
Mm-hmm.
Pick the right token, Eric. Okay, and then I'm going to loose an arrow at this twin that's engaged with my friend there.
Okay, it would engage with Vaskir. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
no,
right. I do need
remember
to
what
specify.
happened last time.
I do need to specify that Vaskir is my friend. Yes.
Yeah. I think you've done the
Okay.
most damage to Vaskir out of anyone so far.
Your arrow
I did not hit.
shoots, and you watch as the Swindle Twin just sort of ethereally shifts out of the way, floating partially in the air, and you miss, unfortunately.
Yeah. Confounded bow.
Okay.
I strap it back around my shoulder because it's not going to do anything.
Datura. It's your turn.
Friar Tim, did you tell Datura about the information from the sigil in the hospital?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Cool.
Because this is a button that she very much feels really needs to be pushed. So she's ignoring the Swindle Twins.
Okay.
She's going to go put both hands on the central pillar, and then she's going to do, I think, prestidigitation. The particular spell doesn't really matter, but she's going to do prestidigitation that, if it was normal, would be just sort of like a little sort of puff of like firework kind of sparks.
Mm-hmm.
But she's going to see what happens when she casts that when she's touching the pillar.
Okay, cool. You cast Prestidigitation. You're touching the pillar. Roll for me a d20.
Okay.
On a roll of 1 through 5, something happens. Oh
Nice!
my god.
She hit the 5!
You stand there, you cast Prestidigitation, and you see as the magic weaves in with the sparking that the Swindle Twins has caused its problems to this pillar, right? This is a powerful object in the demi-plane of multiple planes connected to it. You are manipulating and messing with it in some not very controlled ways, but you are trying to play it safe. As you cast this magic, it imbues in, and you see the pillar flare to life again, flare. And you see as this spell, you see as your prestidigitation goes out, transforms and becomes something you've seen before. And roll a percentile die as your wild magic begins to take form and take fruit. 70. Okay. As you are casting this, the last thing I'll have you do is roll an Arcana check. And you are very savvy at this. I'm mostly just checking to make sure you don't get a 1.
Nope.
Cool.
14.
All right. Okay, cool, sweet. So with a 70, you watch as you cast the spell that if you had cast a more powerful spell, you get more control over what's going on. And unfortunately, you didn't have a lot. It was a weaker spell that was sort of just going to succumb to the chaos of what's happening with this magic. That's what you can tell. You're a practiced wild magic mage. And as you watch your spell fly off into the ether, you see as it fizzles and then expands and then wraps around each one of your friends. Wraps around you and wraps around the Swindle Twins.
Oh, okay.
And everyone goes invisible.
Everyone's gone but me.
Everybody is invisible. As Datura, you finish your turn, you hear the Swindle Twins go, "Oh no, you can't see us, but we can see you."
Ooh.
As the Swindle Twins employ their blind sight.
Oh, whoops.
Huh?
The first one is going to go and make an attack against you, Vaskir. As it attacks, you see it reform, but it's reaching out, grabbing hold of you with its hand, and it will roll and gets a natural 1.
Whoa, what?
You take your shield, Vaskir, and you raise it up, and for just a second, Vaskir, you see Bouthlier's sigil appear on it.
Yes!
You bounce back one of the Swindle Twins. But while you do that, you don't realize as the other one, invisible behind you, swings out with advantage. All All right. With a 20, it swings out, dealing 3 points of slashing damage to you.
Ah.
Okay. As a bonus action, the one in front of you, Baskir, vanishes in a puff of smoke and appears right next to you, Datura. Casting Misty Step.
Now they're both visible, right?
Now they are both visible, yes.
Okay.
Wait, but we're still invisible, right?
Yeah, until you take an action, until you do something.
So
Okay.
they apparently have blind sight. So
Yes, they do have blind sight.
Right.
All right. After that, it's the Swindle Twins just went. It is going to be Tim's turn.
Tim points
You're
at
the
the
chanter.
one close to Datura and says, "All right, I have a joke for you." And
Nice.
weaves into the joke telling the casting of Sacred Flame
Oh.
and says, "How do the gods kindle love between soulmates?
I don't know.
With a match made in heaven."
Oh my god.
And then, boom, down comes the flame from the heavens, golden fire. And
They
covering-
failed the save.
they did, okay.
Nice.
Also, I have this ability because of I can't remember which, I think it's my air.
Yep.
But it's an extra 1d8 force damage. Maybe it's only for extra planar creatures that aren't on their home plane, but I think it might be melee. No, it says with spell or.
Cool. Yeah, you have this effect on the Swindle Twins. They are not on their home.
Right. Okay.
Loud.
Okay, so there's.
it was
Sorry,
a
was
little
that me?
loud. You're right.
Uh,
It was me.
oh, there's
DJ Eric.
There's-
Wow.
there's the radiant damage, and here's
Yep.
the force damage.
Just gonna lower the volume on that one.
Oh my gosh. All right, for 12 damage total, you watch as this beam shoots down, smashing into the Swindle Twins, harming them, and you can see as they wriggle and writhe, both of them at the same time, looking at you in particular, growing angrier and angrier. And one of them is going to take an action at the end of your turn.
Was there any psychic damage for the joke?
They loved it.
No,
You heal them with your jokes. I mean, they love it.
We all
okay.
took a little psychic damage from it.
Yeah,
make a wi-
actually, Steven, do you want to tell the joke again? Because we just had a raid come in. Welcome, Raiders. You missed a really
Wait.
right joke.
Make a Steven, make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save.
DC
Okay.
11.
All right.
Right. That you got a 6.
Oh,
Total.
Okay.
You watch as the Swindle Twin, as you tell your joke, says, "Oh, that's so funny! Tell it again!" And you are charmed by the Swindle Twins.
So good. Oh no.
What?
You are now basically perceive them as friends. You are charmed by them, and you can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns.
Okay, and I have to tell the joke again.
Yes.
Oh
of course.
yeah,
What?
that
do
was
the,
why they charmed you.
What do the gods use to kindle love between soulmates? A match made in heaven.
Oh, it's so good! It's so good! Tell it again!
Oh, no.
And on your
Hold
third
on.
telling, we'll just pass over it. But they are forcing you to say it again.
Do I get to cast Sacred Flame each time?
Absolutely. So powerful.
I'm just registering how many viewers we had before that joke. We'll see in a moment how many we have afterwards. But yeah, real quick, sorry to interrupt, but yeah, for people that just joined, we also have a giveaway going on. So if you take a look over here in the lower corner, you can type in !ticket to try to win a copy of the Stargazer's Guide to Aroria, or !enter to try to win one of, I don't know, like 20 different wonderful Ink and Lyre t-shirts with !enter.
Yeah, as this giveaway is going on, we'll see whether or not the Swindle Twins or the party are going to give away during this combat. So let's see what happens after Tim goes. It's Vaskir's turn. You're invisible, Vaskir.
Man, I'm invisible, but the Swindle Twins could see me.
They
So
do
I
see
think, after last round, where the one behind Vaskir hit him and he took some damage, he's going to turn around and seeing this other Swindle Twin, he's going to try to hit him again with his shield, and he's going to growl, "Repent!" Ooh, that's an 11.
With an 11, you swing. The Swindle Twin grabs hold of your shield and fights against you and says, "Never!" throwing your shield away. And does that conclude your turn? All right. Gert is up. After that's Datura.
Well, the bow wasn't really working. So. However, I am still a rogue and I can still sneak attack. So, I'm going to pull out my trusty short sword.
Okay.
Ah!
You sneak up, get behind the Swindle Twin, and you swing in with your short sword, managing to cut into the ethereal body.
Okay.
Deal your damage.
That's 15 damage.
So much damage.
Yep.
It's so much. You slice into the Swindle Twin, and you can see as the other ones form also ripples, but they are still standing. You think your attacks are not as effective as you would hope them to be against divine figures.
Huh. I pull out one of my daggers as well. Well, double the blades, double the damage. Right? Right? That's how it works, right?
Uh-huh.
Next.
More cheese.
More cheese. This is gonna be good.
Oh my god.
All right, Datura. It's your turn.
Well, so that magic was fun. Tura thought that was fun, but she's actually going to focus on the Swindle Twins this time and leave the pillar alone. She's going to try again with Chill Touch.
Okay.
So her attack is 9.
A 9. You attack them with the Chill Touch. It reaches out. They dodge it. They blast it away. And you can see as they say, "This isn't what we're here for. We're here for fun, and you are all ruining it." And your spell fizzles out, fades away. The pillar continues to crackle, to burst, and then Datura, you watch as the Swindle Twin in front of you is gonna go and touches the pillar. This game is over. Everybody make a Constitution saving throw as the magical energy inside the pillar explodes again. Oh my god, you all are doing so good. Everybody's rolling so well.
Oh, that's my shadow.
I need one more.
Constitution save, yeah?
Yep.
Oh!
Okay, you take
Dang.
half the amount of arcane damage that bursts out of this pillar. You would have taken 8, you instead take 4.
Oh, good.
It's a level 1 character. I forgot the part where it's like, oh god, that's still so much.
Yeah.
It's still a lot.
Vaskir, the other Swindle Twin, is going to go and take a chaotic grasp, trying to grab a hold of you. Actually, no, this one, realizing how weak it is and not feeling its success, it is instead going to viciously mock you. Make a wisdom saving throw.
I want to hear a good mock.
I'm desperately trying to come up with one in my head as I speak. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
You know, you're not allowed to use the spell unless you have an actual mock.
I know.
ready.
Oh god.
9.
All right. 9. You fail, and they say, all of your healing back in the hospital was worth nothing. They're all automatons. What are you trying to prove?
Ooh, they're right.
Gotcha. For 1 point of damage.
Burn.
Thank goodness.
And you can see as the Swindle Twin is like. Okay. Swindle Twin's over. It's Tim's turn. You are charmed by them. You consider them allies.
Oh
Take
my
that
god.
meta narrative joke.
Oh wait, but do I get a?
Oh,
another...
you do. No, you get it. You get to make a check with advantage because they did harm you.
Oh.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the pillar.
yeah.
Constitution save.
Okay. Wisdom. Here we go.
Oh, that's what
Woo!
you watch.
Kick it off.
Friar Tim, as your sigil of the stellar harmony flares, resolving you, and you suddenly break free of any sort of extraplanar shenanigans that's going on here, and you are the priest that you were meant to be. Go for it.
All right, I'm seeing Datura up there working, trying to do something. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to go up next to her and say, how can I help? And I'm going to try to aid her with whatever she's trying to do with the machine.
Okay.
So when it's her turn, I'm hopefully able to.
Yeah, you can either give Datura advantage, or if you would like, you can put in a spell into the pillar right now.
Oh, I could do that too. Let's see. And what is the roll?
Well, for putting the spell in, all you're doing is you're priming to make Datura's thing stronger.
Can I make an Arcana check to see which I think would be more effective?
Sure, yeah, go for it. 13?
Mm-hmm.
You think that you could do either one, really.
Okay.
You think that you saw Datura use a pretty weak spell the first time.
Well, I have those weak spells.
We're level 1. That's all we got.
I'll bring some sacred flame in there, and maybe it'll burn out some of the corruption.
Cool.
And
Datura, the pillar has been charged a little bit more. After Tim's turn, it's Vaskir's turn.
So Vaskir, after taking that little bit of psychic damage from the mockery, winces a bit, rubs his temple, and then he comes back into the other Swindle Twins' face, and he wants to growl out, "No wonder your parents loved your sibling more. Now repent!" And then he tries to hit him in the face with his shield. Oh, that's a 6 to hit.
All right. No, I will not repent. You can't tell me what to do. And it bats you away. The Swindle Twin bats you away. Goethe's turn. You have both cheeses out, both daggers.
Okay, so, well, technically one's a short sword and one's a dagger, but I'm a gnome, so the difference is very slight. Okay, so I am going to stab that short sword at my same target. That's probably not going to hit, is it?
You swing once, and the Swindle Twin dodges out of the way.
Aha!
The dagger does hit.
Ooh, nice.
Sweet. Yeah, that was my bonus action dagger attack, obviously. So bear with me while I do some math here. 3 plus 3 plus 5, 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay.
Wait, 3 plus 3 plus 5, 11 damage. Not
Yeah,
the math stream. Not the math stream. Okay.
All right, you watch as your dagger stabs into the back of the Swindle Twin, and you can see as the weakness, the strength of its tether upon this plane has been pretty weakened. And you can see as it suddenly staggers and is almost paralyzed, and both of them are. And Datura, it's your turn.
Okay,
They seem almost incapacitated at this point.
so, I mean, this pillar has been charged. It would be a shame not to use it. And
it
we're
would.
supposed to overload it.
And I did promise you, so.
Datura has a level 1 spell left. So she's going to put a Ray of Sickness into the pillar
Okay.
and see what happens.
Okay. First, roll a d20. This is for your wild magic of the Ray of Sickness. On a natural 1, the magic triggers. No way.
She rolled
Amazing.
She won! Oh, that's a
Amazing.
bomb. I'm sorry.
Percentile dice, please.
I can't believe it.
is this
Can't
good?
believe it.
Well, what'd you get?
90.
No. Oh no.
Not bad.
You asked for a 1, and fate delivered a 1.
Yeah, you shouldn't have said it.
Is it supercharged now?
It's not the coolest one, but I'll live with it. It's fine. So you shoot your Ray of Sickness into the pillar, right? You had just attacked last turn. So you shoot your Ray of Sickness in, and then you watch as the magic channels. Now, here we go. It's dice time.
Okay.
Last time when you put just a prestidigitation in, it was a 1 through 5, right? To cause something good to happen. Now that you have a Sacred Flame, which is a cantrip, in there, and you put a Ray of Sickness in here, you have more control over this pillar. What you need to do is roll above a 10.
Okay. On what?
This will be a Arcana check, and you get to decide if you are successful. I want you to declare before you roll, what are you trying to do with the latent and empowered magic of this pillar?
She is directing it at the Swindle Twins with the sort of idea that there are pocket dimensions all around. And so she's going to kind of blast them at the nearest one.
Rad.
Blast them into it. So
Perfect.
Heck yeah.
So I'm rolling an Arcana check, and I need
Yes.
above a 10.
You need to get 10 or higher.
Okay. Come on. Dice.
Okay.
18.
Nice.
You cast the magic, and you find as your own wild magic begins to flicker around you. For just a second, you watch as your hand, this one, clutching the pillar, casting energy into it, the Ray of Sickness, the other hand disappears, fading out of existence. Remember, you're blasting these Swindle Twins into an alternate dimension. Hopefully it doesn't happen to you too. Then the rest of your arm fades as the first of the Swindle Twins disappears. Then you see as your shoulder vanishes, as the other Swindle Twin, the one fighting you, Vaskier, is grabbing your shield, and then you see the Swindle Twin's hand fade away, and the Swindle Twin goes, "No, this is not how our party is supposed to go. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a punishment." And you see as then you watch as the rest of your chest and your legs vanish away for a second, Datura, and then you see as it's creeping up your neck.
I grab her head.
See as the Swindle Twin, you grab her head.
I pull it away.
You pull it away. Datura, you have one line. What do you want to say?
It was fun.
Okay. You say it was fun as you vanish entirely. You are holding, you think something, Tim, like you don't know. It's hard to tell. And then you watch as the last of the Swindle Twin who's fighting you, Vaskier, vanishes. The energy in the pillar fizzles and fades. All the doors shut in the room. And Datura, you're just standing there. You're invisible. It looked really dramatic. It looked really scary, but it was actually that you just were turning invisible. It was no big deal. So right now, Tim is just holding your head, and it's kind of uncomfortable. This is your chance to freak everybody out, Datura.
I think I still have her.
Vaskier wants to start a eulogy speech. Like, today, we have fought hard, friends. We have lost one of our own. We shall remember Datura forever for her leggy contributions, the way she scrambled up the tree, for the way that she wanted to solve our problems peacefully and not with violence like the rest of us, like for her incredible casting skills and the way that she would charge the pillar with her magic.
She also
She's
smells
gonna-
really nice.
Since Tim, I took it that he let go, so she's gonna sneak around and just see if she can poke Gassier on the back.
Who?
Vaskier.
Basket.
That's cute.
When you poke Vaskier on the back, he jumps up really high. He goes, "Ah! Oh, the spirit of my past is caught." Oh, it's just you, Datura.
Yeah, she talked. She's like, "I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. I'm okay."
Oh, thank goodness.
Are we stuck in here now?
As you say that, you hear, "How'd it go? Hey, how'd it go?" And you can see the hallway that had been gone before. You can see Traber standing at the entryway going, "Hey, how'd it go?"
Well, we didn't find Marcus with a K or with a C.
Ugh. Well,
Sorry.
that's fine.
We did kill a couple gods, though, or
Well,
maybe banish them.
No, we banished them. We got rid of your problem. You had a god's problem. We banished it.
Never have I heard the lines, "You have a God's problem," and it just seemed like it's just like a hand wavy thing. I'm just going to say that right now. But
It's
I
more of a
love that.
bash to the face thing.
I love hearing
I had
that.
a good time.
Okay. Well, no worries about finding Marcus. I'll go look for him. As long as the Swindle Twins. Was it? Or
Yeah.
was it one of the others?
No, it was the Swindle Twins.
Okay,
It's
cool.
definitely them. Yes, definitely them.
Would you like
That's-
to check? I have an imprint of one of their faces on my shield.
Oh, cool. Yeah. You know,
And
honestly,
you should look for the sigil that Marcus has been leaving it around. She'll like describe it.
why is he leaving sigils around?
I don't know.
God, Marcus. God. All right. Well, your reward, 300 gold. She hands it to you.
Justice is its own reward.
Oh,
Well,
that's so much money.
Take it anyway because this is a contract and I'm paying you so that you can't get angry at me later. And then 2, I got you free rooms at the Golden Pearl Inn, the finest
wow.
of the inns within Lecambria.
Hmm.
And lastly, for your services, tickets to the grand opening tomorrow night.
Yay!
Mhm.
Oh.
Excellent. Excellent.
Oh, good. I definitely want to come back here.
Mhm.
Definitely.
It will
Well,
be
we
good. We
did
have a
see
lot
all
of
of it.
cheese, and I picked some good wines to pair with them.
Oh, good.
Leaving the exhibit chamber, you see Curator Traber waving, saying farewell as you leave the museum. She appears deep in thought, and then she says, "You know, I've been thinking about what's happened. Think about it too for a while, and maybe we can check back in. Someone or something attracts the Swindle Twins. They don't just come for no good reason.
Hmm.
Let's talk about it later."
Hmm.
And that's our adventure.
Right on. Good
Yeah.
story hook at the
Yeah.
end.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
That was
Awesome.
awesome.
On.
That was
Well,
super
should-
fun.
The do you write? How many of these have you been working on?
So this is the first of level 1, 2, and 3 adventures, and so this is the first one. Has the most replayability to it. This adventure is technically designed for 4 hours, and we took a little bit more time and just kind of enjoyed ourselves, so it was adapted. But then, yeah, so there's a second adventure that takes place right after this one, and then there is a third that is pretty climactic and sort of investigates, well, why did the Swindle Twins come to this space? What is
Cool.
actually this larger thing going on?
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So real quick, we are doing like a short Q&A with Jake. We're gonna ask him questions, give him some insights on how we enjoyed this adventure, etc. If any of the viewers have any questions or anything, please put it in the chat, and we can ask Jake as well. I don't know if we also want to give a short little like denouement about what our characters end up doing, because I'm not
I
sure
would
if
love
we'll
that.
ever. Yeah, I'm not sure we'll ever revisit this. Because I know clearly for Vaskir, having started his legend, he's going to decide like maybe I can be both a paladin and a doctor. So he's going to re-enroll back into medical school and finish his degree that the tragic accident cut short.
Well, Gerta is going to take most of that coin to go fund the orphanage that they came from, because that is why Gerta is an adventurer, is to fund this orphanage and hire good keepers and minders so that no one has to grow up on the mean streets of whatever city Gerta is from.
Mm-hmm. There are actually a couple of major orphanages that are written within Stargazers that you could certainly come and fund throughout the cities. So yes, of course.
Datura is coming back. This was awesome. She wants to see more of this museum.
I think one thing I will note about Datura is that Traber would extend an invite to you to come and study if you wanted.
Excellent. Yes,
Ooh.
she would.
Yeah.
So that's what she's going to do. And she won't use
Perfect
the pillar
ending.
very much when people can catch her.
Mm-hmm.
I was one more thing. I was also going to steal as many tickets as possible to this thing, to bring as many kids as possible to this thing. Partly for the chaos element.
Awesome.
Also because it's fun.
Incredible. I feel like that would be a welcomed thing. Look, they have to have Kids Day, and the grand opening is the perfect time to just have a good Kids Day.
Who else is going to eat all that cheese?
That's right.
Well,
Stuffing
Friar
it in
Tim
their pockets.
will go into. He's going to be stationed. His order stations some of the younger members in various planes, and before he gets his assignment, he wants to see the city and enjoy himself a little bit. So he's going to definitely show up for the gala and enjoy the inn while he can.
Cool. All right, your adventurers go out and live their lives and enjoy themselves and find their next path and calling, which is, I'm so down with that. Great recommendation. I love hearing the end of adventures and narratives, right?
Yeah,
So-
ditto.
So shall we do the giveaways?
Let's do the Q&A first, and then let's do the giveaways
Okay.
afterwards.
All right, that sounds good.
All right. So, so Jake, like we just played the one shot that's actually in the Stargazer's Guide, right? Like it's at the end of the book. We got a chance to see 2 rooms. Well, I guess technically 3 rooms because the room of all the doors. Now, were there any other rooms? Well, maybe you don't want to spoil it for people who are going to play it in the future. So how about this? Of the 2 rooms that we saw, were any of them your favorite or that you particularly just enjoy?
I like the rat one mostly because I have a rat costume for a different reason, and so I was in a different show where I had to play a rat man, so I was like, man, that room is fun because then I get to put on a costume and pretend to be a rat. And also I would say that of all of the rooms there, I think any one of them is a good time. One of the things that really excites me about this adventure, if you get a chance to run it yourselves or run it, is that it's super replayable. Like it has a high replayability. It's an adventure designed where when you start the adventure, you, the GM, or you invite your players to roll 3 dice in a D12, and those are the rooms that open. And you get a bunch of different, from social to combat to adventuring experiences within the adventure. It's just a fun overall thing to do. And that main central room, we didn't do like a full scope of it, but as you finish each room, kind of like any sort of video game boss fight, you get chances to harm or attack or do something to the Swindle Twins before the final climactic duke it out, because they have a reasonably high health pool. So your hope is that the players can chip away a little bit before they're all level 1 and very vulnerable at all times sort of situation. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. I really like the way you did that. I really liked how after the first door, you asked us, like, we all get 1 action, you know, what is it that we want to do? I thought that was a good opportunity, a really cool opportunity that you gave us.
Yeah.
So, chat had a question for the group. Did we have a good time on the adventure?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Definitely.
Uh,
Is that not clear?
I liked both scenarios for different reasons, but I really like that hospital one.
No, really.
Yeah, I really liked
That was pretty
hospital
great. It was.
Yeah, I enjoyed the twins a lot. I enjoyed just the fact that a first level character could interact with like this stellar being, you know, an avatar of this stellar being was kind of cool and novel. I mean, that never happens. They're always so OP that you couldn't possibly, but it's you know, you're not killing them forever, but you might vanquish them or something. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, one of the things I will say about just Stargazers that's like really fun is that when we created it, we thought, okay, well, we have this amazing world that our one of the creators, Daniel, sort of had conceived of. And then we thought to ourselves too, I mean, thinking about what does it mean for celestial beings to sort of wander around, right? What does it mean when you can actually see some of these things actually manifest? Because usually in like divine pantheons, they're like partially there and partially not when we see D&D pantheons, right? Pelor or any of the divine gods, when we look at like Faerun or Forgotten Realms or anything, like they're like half there. You know, and when you see them, you're like, oh my God, that's a god. And I liked this idea, and I like about this book, this chance to say, not all these gods are looking to cause a fight or cause problems, and you can find them at varying levels, right? And you can summon them or call them and get them closer to you, which is really a fun experience. And then they're almost sometimes wild and random encounters where you can just be like, oh my gosh, there's one of them. And what does this world make of knowing and being able to somewhat interact with these beings?
Yeah, so one of the other things that I really enjoyed about the features in this that you could have, you know, in this book, is that some of them are very like unique. You could have some very unique actions and abilities from even like a low level. So I never got a chance to use this, but from level 1, as an action, I can touch a reflective surface and enter the object. And while I'm concealed in this way, creatures who view the object see my face instead of their own.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then you could spend an action to just leave it and go to an unoccupied space like 5 feet away. If the object breaks, though, I take a ton of force damage, but it seems like a really fun ability, really creative ability. I didn't quite find an opportunity to use it, but I loved having it.
Yeah.
I looked for a chance for you on that, and I know that if we, you know, had gone to one of the other rooms, I was going to make something extremely reflective, specifically because I wanted to see the ways that you get to interact with, as almost a frontline fighter, the chance to disappear and reappear into combat and reorganize, sort of, or resituate the space as well, right, and play it pretty tactically.
Yeah, it's also cool because, you know, as like a chainmail wearing paladin, I'm not the stealthiest, and you know, this sort of gave me like a stealth option, right? Like if we had to sneak in somewhere, somebody could just tuck me away in their mirror in their pocket or something, which is cool. But yeah, I wanted to ask, like, what other abilities that other people have here that they didn't get a chance to use that were cool, and maybe Jake, like, what are some ones that none of us actually have from the book that you want to highlight?
I was doing something with the color thing. I can change colors of objects, which was I like that because there was something in the source book about ruler versus heir, and maybe roll one and choose the other and that sort of thing. And necromancy isn't one that I would have chosen for myself, but then the heir of the like transmutation, changing the color, that was like, oh, that's super cool. So I enjoyed having them to be able to be contrasting, not just, okay, you have necromancy and also necromancy, or, you know, whatever.
Tim had the ability to touch something and know whether or not it's magical, hear a little chime in his head. And another thing was he could spend 10 minutes to decipher a language he wasn't familiar with, which is really great. Both of those are divination things. I'm a big fan of divination, but just happened that Oris was associated, I think, with divination, or either that, or I just said to myself, okay, I'm just going to take number 3 on the table for each of these things. They happen to be divination. But yeah, when you got the amulet and you put it in your pocket, Stephen, I was totally gonna have my character say, Friar Tim, did your nose just grow a little bit? Because it was 100% a Sturge move. Like having all the divination. I realized that as I magic items. I realized that.
Yeah. I almost pulled out the Sturge. Where'd you come from?
Goethe's star power was basically to summon a shadow to fight for you, right? And the mechanical write-up in the character sheet was not super detailed, so that's why I wasn't sure exactly how that would all work out. But that's potentially a very powerful ability, especially to have at first level, because a shadow can really mess people
Yeah.
up. Yeah,
I think what you find that's sort of unique about these rulers and heirs, right, is that the heirs are not game changing. They're really just a flavor, and they're an opportunity for you to express your character in some pretty unique ways. And then when you find these rulers, to what you were saying earlier, Yang, it's just like looking at when we designed them, we said, how can we really help players further bring to life some cool features about their character, and how can they really express themselves as unique people, right, based upon these signs and these powers that they were born under and connected to. And it was fun to just sort of watch the shadow for Goethe, which was a rogue, Goethe was a rogue, so it's sort of like, oh god, the shadow was the perfect kind of choice situation in that moment in time, right? Or for you wanting to be protecting, right, the Arcane Aegis was something you were trying to use there, and that seems so directly linked. So I really like that opportunity to say, well, what themes do you want to pursue in your character,
So you have a Kickstarter going on. You say you're nearing the end of it?
So we've completed the Kickstarter. So we've
All right.
actually completed, and we've had the book. It's been funded. Thank you to everybody who's been a backer so far, and to all of those folks and yourselves who've expressed interest. We're currently in the process of getting the book printed and finished up. Given a series of things that have been happening in the world, as we are all aware, things have been a little bit more delayed, or changes have occurred, but we are well on our way to producing what has been an exciting process. We've created now a 250-page book that you can find on Drive-Thru RPG now, that we've posted it through Ink and Lyre's Drive-Thru RPG for you to be able to purchase. It has fantastic art designed by Lauren, and it is just gorgeous. If I may, I'm just going to show is the Roll20 still up?
Yes.
Okay, I want to just show for just a moment just one of the pieces of art. I mean, if you get a chance to look at this book, right, the artists that brought in, and they each made a manifestation for all of the signs and the art of Nouveau Maximum and other places, right? It's just really pretty. I don't know. I love stars. I like constellations, so this is like right up my alley. But I'm going to just switch the page here quick to just a piece of art that has been created. So to your question, the Kickstarter has been completed. And I'm just showing here some art as I switch the page over. But we're in the middle of going through the printing process, and we're really looking forward to providing to our backers, and to anybody who orders on Drive-Thru RPG and through our giveaway, an opportunity for this awesome 250-page book that brings a really large world to life. And as I sort of mentioned at the beginning, as somebody who helped write chunks of it, right? Anybody who's running games or playing in games, you're like, man, mysteries abound, right? Things and new opportunities, new ideas that you can go and explore within a book in an adventure, right? You all threw me through a loop and made me keep on my toes through this adventure. And this book is really an opportunity, I think, to dive into a brand new world, a world that's not Faerun, it's not Forgotten Realms. It's bringing you to a new setting, a new opportunity, and brings a ton of challenges and adventures inside of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Super cool.
If I may, just for a one hot second, plug my favorite one of the spaces in
totally.
the book.
yeah.
Absolutely.
is far to the north within this book. There is a lake called Krygos Lake, and it's a icy tundra surrounded by a much warmer climate, and it is due to the existence of a powerful dragon who had been defeated, fallen, and has now fallen asleep within like an icicle within the lake itself. So it's just a frozen lake and this massive dragon's lair underneath. And it's just a ton of fun to read and to explore that space, because the hoard of that dragon, all of its treasure, every so often slowly flows out and goes into the rivers. And so then you have a ton of people coming and taking all this money. Well, this dragon is going to eventually wake back up.
Nice.
And it's gonna know, And I'm excited to see in this adventure, in this book, we give adventures also that are tiered to levels, right? So we give adventure hooks that can be from levels 1 to 5, 5 to 10, and 15 to 20, right? Or 10 to 15 as well in there. We're really looking at the full scope of an adventuring party because we want people to be able to come in at level 1, like all of us, or somebody to come in and try to change the world a little bit, right? And be those powerful level characters and have opportunities in this book to play. I think it's pretty rare to play as high level characters. I don't get that opportunity that often. So I get excited when a book provides me room to do that.
Yeah, totally.
We've been playing our Westgate Irregulars game for 2 years now, and they're level, what, 13 right now?
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it takes a long time, and unless you actively start your game at a high level because you intend to play at high level play, otherwise most campaigns kind of fizzle out by that point.
I got a drop, but thank you so much. That was a ton of fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Keep on with this cool conversation.
Yeah, so Rhiannon, could you just, oh boy, darn it.
Here it goes.
Yeah, the video overlay, but whatever. Well, I fixed this. Yeah, do we have any other questions or anything else you want to ask Jake about?
I gotta get up early again too.
Yeah.
Here.
Okay. Yeah, let's let's close the giveaways and do the giveaways.
Okay.
Any last minute entries? Let me figure this out.
This was really fun, Jacob. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on. And honestly, I'm soon to finish up the second adventure. Would love to just have a chance to play it with you all and take these characters.
Oh, totally.
I'm in love with Friar Tim, Goethe, and
awesome.
and Vastir and everyone. So I'm kind of like, I'm curious where they're gonna go and how they're gonna behave.
That'll be
Gotta
fun.
do the voice again. Okay.
I know. Yeah. I know that feeling. Yeah.
All right. Well, here we go for the. Let's see, which one is this? Well, we'll just find out.
I got Eric's face back into place.
Original Angston.
Original Angston.
Hey, congratulations,
Yeah.
Original Angston.
And we have. Zanafia Zangle.
Cool.
Zanafia Ex-Angel.
Oh, X-Angel.
I think.
I like Zangle, but I mean,
Zanafia and
By the way.
Angston, if you could please send me a Twitch message with your email address, that would be awesome. Just go to the little Twitchy envelope thingy up there and send a message with your email, and then I can contact you and get you hooked up.
Yeah, congratulations to both of you.
Very cool.
Thank you everybody for having me on, by the way.
Yeah, Jacob, let's keep in touch.
Yeah.
And, make sure we do follow up on that. I would love to.
And I'll say to everybody just one more time, thanks for coming in and tuning in and seeing an adventure like this. Again, Ink and Lyre's Drive-Through RPG is going to have this book. Also, if I may plug for just a second, 2 things that are happening Ink and Lyre side for a brief moment.
Oh, absolutely. Please do.
I love the Dungeon Scrawlers, and I'm looking forward to continuing to watch your shows and watch the Irregulars, right? And seeing that. It's going to be a ton of fun to tune in. For us in Ink and Lyre, we have a show that's actually takes place in Aroria and takes place within the setting of this book. It happens on Mondays. It's called Fate's End. And then we also have a show on Wednesdays called Iron Valor, which takes place more in like just the D&D modules themselves. And you can catch those shows at the evening. I think it's 6 o'clock. Let me just double check here because sometimes I forget these numbers as I'm thinking about this stuff. So yeah, so it's 7:30 p.m. Central, 5:30 Pacific for Fate's End on Mondays, and then for Wednesdays it's 8:30 p.m. Central, 6:30.
Cool. Do you play in one of those?
No, not
Nope.
currently.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So some viewers, Original Angston, you just message Dungeon Scrawlers directly, or we'll just message you because it's easy. I'll just open a message now.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm getting up at 5, So
Yep.
I'm gonna
Thanks,
roll.
Steven. Thank you so much, Jacob.
Yeah, thank you everybody, and thank you all for sticking around. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be-
Well,
be
till
in
next
touch.
time.
yeah. All right.
Ciao.
Well, hello there. Of course you came to the grand dwarven city of Digbrand to see me. Ma Belle Pebblegrit, tale extraordinaire to kings, queens, heroes, and legends. Have you gazed upon my latest masterpieces? Yes, this one for you. Don't you see how it calls to you, speaks your name? You are gorgeous, darling. The colors, the line work, the gods weep in the presence of your beauty. No one has looked more stunning in a pebble grit design. Please, I cannot bear to gaze upon your perfection for too long. You can find this mesmerizing merch at inkandlyre.com. Go and unleash your fabulosity today and help support Ink and Lyre. Do stop by my shop again. You simply must tell me about all that adventuring thing. Well, ta-ta, darling.